Howdy folks, welcome to Alberon RPG, the channel where you will be joining us tonight for our 10th session of Mosaic Team 5, a Starfinder campaign, an original one, written in the year 2250 of our very own galaxy and transposing the lore of the Starfinder universe. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master or Game Master, and joining me I have Dan and Ari. Matt is on his way, he's just around the corner, and he'll be joining us presently. We are missing Carson and Olive very much tonight, and for Olive, we hope that you feel better. A couple of announcements before we get started. Just one second here. First of all, I think I might even hear Matthew. First of all, we have a website, alberonrpg.com, that has undergone a number of very large updates. That includes things like the bounties have been updated, the storylines for both Adventures in Alberon, our original D&D campaign, and Mosaic Team 5 have been updated to reflect the most recent adventures. Going forward also, Matthew is definitely here. I hope he's okay. Going forward, links to the sessions will be posted on that website. Again, alberonrpg.com. If you wanted to send emails to the players for either Mosaic Team 5 or Adventures in Alberon, you could do so at cast@alberonrpg.com. Hello, Matthew. Welcome.
Hello.
You okay? We can
Are
hear
you dying?
Yeah, geez, you all right?
I'm good. I just said hi to Emily.
Oh, okay, good. Well, welcome.
Swag.
So if you want to send an email to Matthew and make sure that he's okay, you can do so. cast@alberonrpg.com. And then tomorrow, we are going to be playing session 106 of Adventures in Alberon. This is going to now have a brand new overlay that features some of the original map work that's been done for Dominion. It is also going to be the very first session done at our brand new time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no longer 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This change reflects the fact that we are 4 years older than we began this campaign. We can't stay up that late anymore. Midnight is too late.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be so nice. So 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, we are playing Dungeons & Dragons, no longer 8:30, so feel free to join us then. However, one final, or second to last announcement, because also we have Sirenscape, but over the course of tonight, if at any point you want to jump in and help Mosaic Team 5, you can do so using bits. Bits are Twitch's sort of currency. You can use those to impact the story in a number of ways. Just a couple of bits are able to be utilized to send emergency supplies to Mosaic Team 5. However, if you want to send a little bit more, something up to things like 3,000 bits, you can actually send a pizza immediately to this cast.
Immediately. Literally just...
Yeah, no, imagine if we just had like a ready to go.
Those
Yeah.
old bank pneumatic tube systems that just shoots a pizza down at us.
Yeah, we haven't set any of our wires up correctly yet, but we have a pizza dropper.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, a donation of 3,000 bits will have a pizza delivered immediately to our actual physical players, but Mosaic LLC will also send a special meal to the party as well. And then the uppermost thing at 5,000 bits, you can have Mosaic immediately recruit and dispatch a specialist bounty hunter for the remainder of the bounty to assist the team. As you guys are all in downtime, that would apply to your next bounty. And yeah, so that's bits. The final thing that I have to announce as Matthew changes directly in front of the table off screen, which I think is so funny.
Battle camp.
The battle cam won't capture that, but I like that idea. We do actually have 2 additional spare cameras, I realized, because originally, also you'll notice this camera much clearer. I realized it wasn't the wires or anything causing the problem. It was a power balance issue. So correcting that, we now have 2 spare cameras. So eventually what I do want to do is put one up here so that we can, like, at the end of the show, cut away. And, it's like during the news where we're all shuffling our papers around. And then the other camera, I don't know, it'll be Oreo camera or something. Welcome back, Matthew. So, final announcement before we get started for the night. We have also used for music's... I don't know why that was so hard. Music, sound effects of various kinds of elements that you can add an extra dimension into your games with. Sirenscape is a great digital tool set. It is what we are playing our theme song on right now. You can adjust the levels on the fly, so you can make it deafening if you want. You can also turn it down and just have little crickets in the background, but whatever you want to do, Sirenscape is a great digital tool set to do so. Now, with that,
I have an announcement.
Oh, yeah, please.
Joe got us these really cool cheese shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Joe also showed your
didn't-
t-shirt, because your t-shirt is like the
Hang on,
dopest.
I'll do the DM one. Yeah, so great art from Sophie Bishop.
Oh, that's so
I don't know.
cool.
Wait, can I lean back so I can look at the monitor real quick? Daniel?
Oh, yeah.
Some people see. Oh, yeah, there.
Yeah,
So
you're
you have
good, you're good.
Our mission coordinator
Looks
right
like
there.
he's
Art by
talking.
Sophie Bischoff. And if you want to buy one, you'll be able to probably next week. However, for everybody else, I could put the player camera on here. You can see
peep
the
on your
Mosaic
chest.
Team 5 logo shirt. We have one for Carson and Olive as well. But all of those will be available. And actually, I believe you can even purchase a few of those below right now on Twitch. But some of the other designs will be coming out presently.
They're really soft.
Yeah,
They are really
this
soft.
one, this. So yeah, in the break, I'll have you guys feel this. This is so. Yeah, you know,
Only in
go
the
ahead.
break. Oh yeah, let me get it on.
So, yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna redesign everything using
feels like
this
it
template.
breathes
I know
really
it
well.
really does. Yeah, it's a nice shirt. Anyways, that is the final announcement, and with that, we can jump into our recap. So,
Where was this one?
Well, it doesn't matter. 'cause
oh,
you're
did you
gonna
see also your
ruin it.
sweatshirt there for Adventures
I
in Albron?
felt
Behind
it.
you?
I didn't want to. This is another thing.
That's for Adventures in Albron. So Matt's been playing for the full 4 years of our campaign,
So I need
and a little sweatshirt as a thank you. So Tina's gonna have one as well tomorrow.
the thanks that I get every week is playing both of these great games with you, Joe.
Thank you, Matthew.
Oh.
And with that, we're going to jump into our recap. So, Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, you all went to the small town of Port Macready, where you took in the first 2 acts of Mesmerelda's Carnival. Prior to doing that, Shade, Bubbs, the 2 of you went and played some of the games at the carnival on your way to the ride, eventually with the thought to go high on Mesmerelda's merry-go-wheel to better surveil the entirety of the carnival. Instead of doing that, Shade, you played a 3D virtual reality racing game, and Bubbs, you played Canny Oakley, the sort of airsoft rifle target shooting game.
And I won.
Both of you did very well. And so ultimately, despite the fact that neither of you doing anything responsible for your bounty hunting group,
Well,
you
it
did
was to
manage.
gain funds, but I didn't realize that the funds were coming from us. So.
Yes, you did bet on your own game. However, you all won your games, and upon reaching the big top, being told by Gibbs and Spice that there was some suspicious activity happening within, you found yourselves locked out. Over the course of the opening of the circus, you managed to sneak in around the sides in various ways. However, after the strong man performed, Gibbs, you and Spice found yourselves pulled into the 3rd act. As the contortionist performed below, you both climbed the ladder to the side and prepared to engage in a trapeze performance. Spice was first, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spice was first.
She did a great job.
She did a great job, almost plummeting to her death, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Spice, not a natural on the trapeze, but Gibbs, for you, failure actually exactly what you needed. And in slipping with a terrible roll from the trapeze, you plummeted to the stage below and exploded, it would seem to everybody else, into butterflies. But Gibbs, for you, you
It was
recognized...
cockroaches. No, I'm kidding.
You recognize as you fell through a trap door and into this haphazardously constructed cushion that this was all part of an act introducing the final performance, this magician, who all of you believe to be the 4-armed assassin. However, as the show came on, Shade, you volunteered to be the target for this magician to throw knives at you. And as this happened,
Better vantage point.
it was a very clear vantage point. You recognize the 2 arms below, not functional, though they did move with the movements of the upper ones. It seemed as if they were attached. This was showmanship. And you recognized a humanoid, not a Kasatha. But as a bounty hunter in the crowd, one Diego stood up and loudly accused this magician of being the bounty. The spotlights went into the crowd where an actual Kasatha served, I want to say it was hot dogs, to people in the crowd. You all gave chase as this person tore through the carnival and into the tunnel of love, where one by one you chased the individual, with the exception of Spice, who decided instead to wait, ambush Diego, and convince him in a number of very confusing interactions to accompany her to the to Mesmerelda's Mesmerelda's merry-go-wheel, and then, upon persuading him to join your team, immediately revealing that she had fooled him and pulling him back to the Tunnel of Love. Meanwhile, all of you engaged in combat with this assassin in this storm drain that has been refitted by the Carnival to accompany paddle boats in the shape of carp that took you through various scenes of love and intimacy. You all fought this creature, really binding him to the central bayou area, and as the animatronic Crawdad sung this beautiful song below, you all engaged in brutal combat, eventually finding yourselves gaining the upper hand. You were able to incapacitate this individual. As you emerge from the Tunnel of Love with your bounty, Diego asked for a split of this reward. Spice promptly told him to fuck off. So you found yourselves with a new nemesis who promised revenge. Gibbs, you diplomatized the hell out of the Peacekeeper as you returned to Rat King, rolling a dirty 20, and worked your way to the front desk and asked what gave Chesterfield, this nemesis Yosoki of yours, the right to sell Junkfall, now rebranded as Junkfalls, a slightly upper scale, outwardly upper scale neighborhood, really tenement buildings for the Yosoki who used to live happily amongst the junkyards there. The woman stated, okay, look, you didn't hear this from me. And that is where we're going to begin for this evening. So, give me just one moment here. Where are we? We're in Rat King.
It's quieter.
It is quieter. Part of it is because I froze for just
Yeah,
No,
I
sorry,
had to
the
return the
keyboard's
old one.
Quieter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was complimenting
nice.
Dan's keyboard.
Dan's new
That's not quieter.
tippy tappy-less,
Okay.
unless you do that.
Yeah.
So, in front of you, you see this peacekeeper, Tanya, who you had spoken to previously, the only one in this station. She had previously taken your bounty back, promised to turn in the reward, and now she leans forward and says, you didn't hear this from me, but I was at a singles terrarium making class called Planting the Seeds of Something More, dating through hobbies with some of the girls from my Monday night bowling league. Oh gosh, we just play for fun, don't you know? But we're actually pretty good. Well, all of us except for that bitch Patty. But anyways, we had just planted the cutest little azure aloe guys that really just set off the neutral colors of the gravel in a way that made my heart sing. And I could tell that the handsome fireman at the next table liked it too. He had eyes like melted chocolate, and let me tell you, it made my heart melt as well. Anyways, listen to me gabbing on and on like my brother-in-law's great aunt Thruki. The woman could talk the ear off a cornstalk, believe me, won't you? So, Patty, that snide little bitch, she basically just needs bumpers to bowl above 120, don't you know? But she was talking to Demivo, the string bean-looking Lashunta, a table over, who I admit had done an amazing job with the spider plants around the edge of the terrarium, and Demivo told Patty that he works for Rat King City Planning. I remember because I noticed as he was talking, he had a tiny piece of something green in his teeth. And I was thinking he couldn't be that good at planning if he couldn't even plan in a toothbrush before a social event. That seems like kind of step one, maybe step two, depending on upon your routine. So anyways, Demivo said that his office was exploring permitting Junk Falls to potentially rezone it for use as a sod and ornamental plant research facility, which would mean that we'd have some succulents and things nobody else has, which, you know, would be pretty cool. So when I got home, I poured myself a little glass of something red, kicked my feet up in my industrial-inspired coffee table, and immediately looked up what they were talking about to see if my favorite little soup place would be affected by it. It's just the cutest little Yosoki place, and I know, you know, some people say it's kind of gross, but they get layer of flavors you just can't find anywhere else. Anywho, the article I read listed Chesterfield as a potential seller. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Rentropy fronted him the money, since he did so much to force so many in Rat King to sell and conform.
What was that last sentence?
To sell and conform.
Oh, jeez. Do they ever have any of those public meetings posted on bulletin boards? Those memos about like rezoning stuff? Don't they usually have to like go through that whole thing?
Yeah, it used to be like that until Rentropy really moved in, and they own enough of the zoning committee now to really sort of push through what they want. That being said, I know they haven't been able to sell all of Junk Falls yet, and I know that's something that the Freshies have been trying to do. But at the moment, there is some resistance.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, of course.
Oh, what a bummer, because, you know, this ornamental plants are so neat down there nowadays.
Well, not yet, but I mean, should they end up getting this deal pushed through, we'll have some pretty cool things.
Oh, okay. So which parts have they sold and to whom? Do you know?
Oh, I couldn't tell you everything off the top of my head, but I do know, based on the article, I think Chesterfield and the Freshies in general,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they own something like. Give me 1 second here. They own something just shy of 70% of Junk Falls at the moment.
Oh.
You mentioned resistance. Is there anyone with a wanted bounty?
With the wanted bounty. I'll tell you, one thing about Chesterfield, he's a scary fella, but he does run a pretty tight ship. I remember one time I was chasing this hot little red number down Route 6 towards Port Macready, and they tried to ditch me in Junk Falls. I ended up having to stop right at the border, but Chesterfield brought his Striker Cat limousine right out and blocked the road. 3 big guys got out. They were yelling something fierce at Chesterfield. But as soon as he stepped out of the limousine, I swear, it seemed like the world itself held his breath. There's something weird about Chesterfield, something different. It's almost like something else was looking out of his eyes. And then one of the fellas reached for his gun, and before I could breathe, Chesterfield smoked him, faster than anything I've ever seen. It was clear-cut self-defense, too, and I think, and again, you didn't hear this from me, but it almost seemed like he let them draw first so that he could claim it was self-defense. That, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, Tanya, do you have a terrarium on your desk that you made? And I'm gonna peek over her counter and look to see if she's got like the terrarium.
You go to peek over, and she shuffles the monitor aside. She like very clearly shows off. It is like a little wire wrapped, little rose gold, probably fake, with glass triangle plates that make almost like a dome. And when you look on the inside, you can see these little, not doing terribly well, these little blue aloe plants, a little bit of these small, I don't know what they're called, bunches of spider plants that cascade down the front out of the opening. And you see like a little sponge in there and some gravel, but not doing terribly well.
I'm gonna compliment her and just like be like, oh, that firefighter, like, how's it going? And make small talk while I look at her terrarium. Is there anything on her desk that talks about things going on in Junk Falls or the Resistance or like...
Make a perception check. While this is happening, what are the two of you doing?
Ooh, 19 on the dice.
Ooh.
I would try to recall any info that I have about Striker Cat limos.
Okay, make a...
Invoking my pilot background
Okay, yeah, sure, absolutely.
to recall knowledge about vehicle models and parts as well as famous.
Do it. What was your roll?
By 5.
It's 28, because I got a 19 on the dice plus
Nice.
9. It's a wisdom stat.
Damn, okay.
Gibbs is
so wise.
very wise.
So as she's doing this, you're talking, you're like, yeah, that firefighter really has it going on. You're looking over. She goes, oh, are you looking for something now? She kind of like moves the terrarium aside, and you can see on this, yeah, she's like, you seem like you're probably like a local from around here. Maybe you haven't been here for a little bit.
Yeah, you could say that, actually. But I was really just looking at your nails. What gorgeous color they are.
She looks at them, and you could see almost like a periwinkle. And she goes, oh, thanks. I was going to tell you a little bit about the goings-on around here if you want, though, just because, you know, on account of things that change pretty rapidly.
Yeah, please, I don't want to get a social faux pas.
Ah, I get it, because of the pause.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Thanks.
Well, you're a Yosoki, obviously, so I'm sure you want to know about, you know, the Yosoki goings-on.
Yeah.
Your friend had mentioned something about resistance. Not a wanted bounty, but there are a couple folks that I know are very much, well, there's a few that are pretty staunchly anti-Chesterfield. First of all, you know, the Sniffers.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about them, but they mostly have kept to themselves, managed to keep out of any of the real sellings. They've kept most of their territory. And then the Tar Walkers. I know that they had a little bit of trouble and something about their leader being taken off the streets and apparently gone missing, which honestly, probably not the worst thing in the world, but both of those groups very much enter Chesterfield, and I know that they've been trying to think of ways to perhaps maintain elements of their homes, but not really part of Junk Falls. Some of them, I think, have moved in that direction. Let's see, what else has happened that you might be interested in? With that roll? But I bet you're pretty happy about the Food for All program, huh?
The Food for All program.
Yeah, so Chesterfield started the Fresh Food for All program, which I guess grants most of the people in Junk Falls access to yams, cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, corn, all that kind, the proprietary seeds that are kind of hard to get. And in return, I guess there is some kind of like a trade or a discount offered for food. But from what I know, I think that's a big part of how he was able to get people to sell. I also know, I don't think they sold the entirety of it, but there was a point where the Freshies did share a big amount of their junkyard, something like 49% for the other clans to buy into.
Is there a Food for All application or like a office? I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, no. So I know it's administered through Entropy. They have a lot of the distribution centers, and so I don't know if they're involved up front. I just know that it's distributed using their trucks. So you could go to them anywhere on the Rentropy U campus. I know that it's run through there. Yeah, that's probably where I checked.
That's a good point. That's helpful. What a good public servant or whatever. I don't know if that's offensive nowadays. I'm sorry. It wasn't meant to be.
No, it's okay. I think everybody does what they can for their own community.
Yeah. Well, you're an asset to this community for sure.
Dang, Talon, look at you. All right. So, Talon, I have your address. I'll send you out in a Mosaic Team 5 t-shirt sometime
nice.
tomorrow.
Congratulations!
Yeah, look at that.
Nice.
Well, great, Tanya. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I really appreciate you being proactive and giving me a heads up so I don't, trip over myself getting back to Junk Falls.
Yeah, I know, if you're going to go to Junk Falls, I heard something over the radio. I guess there was some kind of commotion. Just be careful heading out that way. I know the Freshies are apparently really active at the moment. Something about vandalism.
Oh, that's no good.
Perhaps we should be heading back to our ship.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, so you'll just let Mosaic know we dropped off the bounty, the guy.
Oh, yeah, no, the fund should process sometime in the next 6 hours, so I imagine, I don't know how your payment structure works, but I'm sure that they'll let you know.
Yep. Sounds good, and I'm gonna pat her arm
Okay.
over the counter and be like, hope that fireman guy calls you.
Oh, thanks. I don't think he's gonna, but we can dream, right?
Absolutely, that's all we got.
All right, well, have a good day now.
Bye. I'm gonna walk away.
Walking out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we are currently in Rat King.
So at the moment, as
No.
you step out,
We're currently...
you are in. Yeah, you are in.
we are-
the central lot of Rat King. Looking
Okay.
out right in front of you, you see across the street the spaceport. Your ship
Our
is
ship
there.
is there. Okay.
You can see the rental service that you guys all rented your vehicles from off to the other side, across the street from this office, basically. One building over. You can see number of bikes. The light is getting a little bit lower, and you can see the orange of the sky. It's about
Our
7
vehicles
o'clock.
are still outside.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
We're parked outside a police.
Yeah, so
Right.
we're close
Yeah,
to our
yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
People aren't going to jack your.
No. I just, making sure we got our ship, we got our vehicles.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Wherever we want to go. Okay.
Well,
They said something about vandalism. You don't think that was...
It was almost certainly us.
Oh,
the statue. But anyways, we should get into the cars and drive somewhere else. Stay on the move. Boys and spice.
I think we should...
So interesting point. Now that you go out and look, Spice gone.
Yeah. Go.
You see one fewer bicycle in the little slot.
She wanted to make all that money.
Perhaps now is a good time to have a discussion, Gibbs.
Not here. Why don't...
Perhaps we should go back to the ship for a moment.
oh, yeah, I could definitely kind of use a wash after that,
I'm going to
jump in
start
the
heading
street.
back to the ship.
Sure.
Great. I'll follow.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys progress through the streets of Rat King. You see a number of Yosoki. It's a little bit lighter than you would imagine, and probably because of the circus still happening. A number of people north in Port Recruity, but you pass through the light traffic and make your way back to your ship. Is there anything that you guys want to stop and do on the way, or are you guys just heading straight there?
I'm going straight to the
No
ship.
problem.
I'm gonna park my truck, and I do not want to return it. And I'm gonna take
Well,
the keys.
I
with
guess
me.
yeah. Is
I don't
there
wanna
a
return
closer place to bring the motorcycle to the ship, or is this pretty much
No,
like
this is like
this is
right
pretty
there,
much like
yeah.
we're parking it here? Yeah. So I'm
This is
probably
the
just gonna,
Enterprise outside of the
yeah.
airport.
So I'm probably
Seems
just
like a
gonna
safe
leave it
neighborhood. I
there.
don't think anyone.
Okay, no problem.
Assuming that like it's there still, not putting it back at the rental thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want to keep it for a bit.
No problem. You
Yep.
make your way back to your ship. You can see just as you left it, the Everlasting Wanderer, slightly more spray painted black actually. Now, for those who can see the combat cam, it's
someone
slowly
came
coming
in-
together.
This is the vandalism they were talking about.
Oh, they spray painted my ship.
They spray painted our ship.
Also, I forgot
Entomolog
the
ship.
miniature version of your ship is inside of your ship. It's not actually there.
It's
You guys
also
don't have-
they vandalized this one too.
But yeah, so now you can see we do have a little bit more of the ship. The ship's blueprint is completed.
Oh, it would have been funny if there was a spot right there that was the mini because you just left this on and painted over.
If you look near the airlock, or I think maybe near the turret, there's like the smuggler's compartment is open. If you move the hatch, I spray painted with the hatch up. So there's just the bright blue square right there.
Where is that? That's not a
but
great
anyways,
smuggler's
I didn't know we had a
compartment.
smeggler's hatch.
Yeah, that's the thing we store our food in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, stores her food
That's
in. At
literally, despite the fact that you guys have an entire kitchen, you guys store your food
In
under
a
the
fucking
ground.
hole in the ground.
But
very
you know
Gibbs
what?
thing to
That's
do,
okay.
you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. So you make your way back to the Everlasting Wanderer. This ship, now more or less exactly as you see it in front of you, but you know, not all black.
Okay. Yeah, go up. Make sure nothing's been done to the ship while we were gone.
Sure.
Check that everything's in order. and
So things have been done to the ship, and as you examine it, you can see repair work has been done.
Okay.
The damage on your ship you can mark off. It has been repaired.
I'm probably just gonna give myself a little once over clean as Bubbs. You know, just give the suit a little shine.
So 2 hours later,
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down at the like the dining room table and start working on something.
okay. So you sit down at the dining room table, sort of the communal area where there's like all the beds and everything like that. You sit down at the table there. You begin to take your shower, Bubbs,
Yeah.
kind of cleaning off, taking the armor off, beginning to get into like the little nooks and crannies and all that kind of stuff. Shade, what are you doing?
after I check on the ship, make sure everything's working and hasn't been tampered with or anything, I'm gonna go seek out Gibbs.
Okay, sure. So you find Gibbs in the actual kind of communal quarters. And Gibbs, what are you working on the table?
Joe, could I present a battle map?
Sure, yeah, you can do whatever you want. I love that.
At this
Oh my
point, I
gosh.
think I'm probably coming out of my
I
shower
love being surprised.
and I'm probably brushing my teeth.
Oh my god, yes.
Um,
Is this what is on
Oh
the
my
table that I
goodness.
see?
Amazing. Wow.
this looks very Gibbs-ish.
This is the most amazing thing I think
Yeah.
I've seen.
Oh
I
wow,
love it.
this is very much a napkin
Oh my
map.
gosh.
So
This
this
is
is
the best ever.
that's Chesterfield with the glowing teeth.
I know, it's
And this is
amazing.
that woman whose name I don't remember, but
Oh
it's
my-
like
The
like
Rentropy woman?
Acclama. I
Oh
texted
yeah,
you.
Acclama.
Okay. Yeah, Aquama.
So I think I'd probably be getting into the kitchen
That's
at this
amazing.
point
That, first of all,
love
all right, that's
that.
just
I love
stupendous.
that so
Alright.
much.
I can't wait for the break. I want to take a look at
because
that
I want to
more
definitely
closely.
join in on this.
Yes.
Amazing.
Gibbs has a lot of plans.
Yeah,
Gibbs-
and for what it's worth, also, and also, Dan, you have a tag on your shirt.
Oh yeah, Matt put that on
Okay,
me.
just making sure you do. For what it's worth, this is the communal quarters, and though you do sleep in the armory, you could be cleaning your stuff in there, no problem. There's
Yeah.
a shower in the communal quarters.
Okay, yeah, I think
The way that the ship is built, there's a shower that faces into the quarters, and the shower that faces into the docking bay. The one facing into the docking bay is one of those emergency pulls, so that if you were to get like some kind of
Chemicals
caustic
or-
material on you, you could,
It's like an
you have that.
emergency wash.
Yeah,
station.
exactly. Yeah.
I think I'd probably be just finishing up, coming out when she's shading everyone's arriving.
Okay, perfect.
Open the door.
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Okay, I've got a lot of ideas.
This is so amazing.
Topic
Ari.
statement is I think I need to start funding a revolution. And so
Strong topic statement.
I'm trying to brainstorm a lot of things to do, and I've got a lot of ideas. Kind of the softest part of it is I want to start the social media campaign. Junk Falls will always be junk, because I really want that whatever investment Chesterfield has, 70% or not, I really want to undermine all of it and highlight all of the things that Rentropy is doing is just a bandage of it, and that there's heart and soul that's not being captured right now. And I know that it's probably never going to go back to the way it was, but I don't like it the way it is, so I don't know what the future is going to look like, but I just want to disrupt it as much as possible.
All right, one thing I realized when I was mixing the microphones, this one is the one that's going to be on.
Jeez.
That's okay.
Yeah, no
Go
worries.
change
I can
it.
scooch it.
No, go
No
change
worries.
it.
Well, just for now, we'll scooch it, then we'll change at the break. All righty.
As she says revolution, I'm probably brushing my teeth. I probably kind of do like a spit take into like the sink. A revolution? I mean, doesn't that require like, you know, a lot of people, to fight? I mean, it's just us.
Right, so here's the thing, is if we can start, there's got to be regrets here. People sold their home for this free food program, and people probably want change, and so I'm not under the expectation that I can do this alone or even with just you guys. I do think that this has to be kind of a grassroots sort of thing. So I guess I don't quite know how to get there from here, but I do know that people probably care, and people are probably upset, and I know that Chesterfield, at the very least, is vain. And no matter how effective he is, that's going to kind of wear on people, and if he runs a tight ship and his men were as mean as they were to my family, they're probably just as mean to other people, and so I can only hope that whatever argument I can make is worth more than the free food that they're getting from Rentropy, but it might mean disrupting that food chain again. Yeah, and I don't know, there's a lot of responsibilities here that I want to fix it, I don't know how. So it's just sort of noodling around at this point, I guess. But, if it was just Chesterfield, I'd feel a little bit more confident, but because Rentropy is sort of propping him up, I feel a little less confident. So I guess part of it is I need to understand that relationship a little better. Because it does seem like Rentropy's got the stake in this sod and ornamental plants bullshit. But Chesterfield owns 70% of Junk Falls, so maybe he's selling it to Rentropy piece by piece. And if I can disrupt that relationship, maybe I can stop it from progressing any further.
As she says this, I'm probably gonna move over to the map. Wow, this is quite a thing. What you said, that inspires
And
me.
Bubbs, there's like stains covering all, like just as you see in this, all the stains and everything. You kind of look at it, and as Gibbs is like touching the paper, you can see elements where like the paper is sticking with whatever the stains are still wet. It's pretty gross.
I'm probably gonna take like a handkerchief, and I'm just probably gonna clear away.
Watch out, my ink's gonna run.
Oh, so the people. Isn't that who Tanya mentioned? The sniffers?
Yeah.
Would they be?
So they were here originally. They're an original clan, just like Scab Rats is. So I was just sort of thinking. I'm glad to hear that they're resisting.
Maybe we could. I don't know.
And then there was Split Paw. Yeah, there was Split Paw, and now the Tar Walkers.
Paw.
Yeah, that's a name you gave me. Okay. So there is clans originally, and it seems like some of them have sold and some of them haven't. And it looks like the ones that have sold probably are getting this free food program, so they're not feeling the burden that my family's feeling. And I don't know if we have to sell. I don't know if we own it to sell. I assume that that's the relationship there. We never had paperwork or documenting that our part of the junkyard was ours, but maybe we have like eminent domain.
Well, maybe you had documents, but you lost it. I mean, that place was really kind of like a mess, It
was an organized mess when you got into the heart of it.
I don't think that term is a real term.
Well, it was, and it is, and I could prove it to you.
That.
So, and then the other part of it is that they're obviously stealing people. and that's part of their power, is if they're taking people who are held near and dear or leaders of a community, you know, I kind of want those people back, because they're going to be mad if they're still alive. They're going to go back to their communities and talk about the realities of their treatment. So I have Operation Icker, spelled with a Y. And this is Yosoki's Information Collecting and Rescue. Operation Icker. Which is going to get Dust back, and that guy who I think is the head of the Sniffers, maybe, that Tanya told us.
Would you have known their leader's name?
This is great.
Make a culture check.
Yeah, let's roll for that. I don't want to make that choice. 15 plus.
15? Sure.
Okay.
15's enough.
Okay.
The leader's name of the Tar Walkers was somebody named Ublick. Ubliq. The Q is actually part of the Tar Walker naming convention. The leader gets a Q-related name.
Could you repeat that? The Q?
Ublick. Ubliq.
It's like the stuff that you make with cornstarch.
Yes.
Yes, but actually it is very technically it is an homage to Philip K. Dick's book, Ublick, which is a
Great,
phenomenal,
great
yeah.
book. Yeah,
phenomenal book.
love me some.
I wonder if that's where Ublick comes from. I bet that's
No,
where
because
that...
it's Oobleck.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oobleck is the muck. Oblique is the Philip K. Dick
Gotcha. Okay.
memory wipey bowl.
So Ublick with a Q.
Like Soma.
Great movie.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah. I'm thinking of something else.
Okay, so
Operation Icker.
Operation Icker. But I think that's sort of secondary to the first part. I've got 2 days to, like, plant the seed. That's kind of rude, I guess. Maybe I'm not going to use that terminology, because that's very Rentropy of me. But regardless, I've got 2 days to sort of set this up, get as much of my family involved, but try to shelter them from any fallback. I think there's a bigger piece here outside of Petrus 4 that the world needs to know about this. And so I'll pull this out at the same time. I made a logo and a
Yeah.
like a flyer to highlight this. You know, I'm selling you on this concept that junk falls will always be junk and needs to kind of stay junk.
I just need you to understand. This is phenomenal.
Oh,
This is
thank
great.
you.
I love
this.
this.
Well, we
like-
had week off, but I did this Friday after our game because I wanted to.
I was gonna say you sent me this the next day.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
amazing.
know.
That's
This
so-
was made
that's so great.
over the 2 weeks, but it obviously didn't take that long. I just fucked up my recycling and threw coffee on it. But and then this is all about how ideas for
Is the wheat
cash.
thins?
Well, so the idea was that Gibbs went to a hotel, and I was trying to find like those little mini hotel boxes to like paper mache together. But I was like, I'm not gonna go buy trash to make trash out of trash. Like, I'll just use trash I have.
Yeah.
So that's how this came apart. But the idea was Gibbs was using what was her cargo
that's so
vest
great. That's great. I love that.
to like write these notes on.
Amazing.
I want to like frame that and then like put it up somewhere.
You're welcome to. I don't want to bring it home with me, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been sitting on our kitchen table for a week.
Oh no, I'm keeping that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then so this is the Operation Icker, which is secondary but important. And then these are the documents that I built. And then I was also thinking, so Chip and Crumb, I mean, they have to be sympathetic to the cause. And so as much money as we could funnel through them, maybe they could find, you know, because it's not just about getting the people, it's also about arming them to the point that they feel safe enough to fight. And I think ultimately this might come to a fight, as much as I want to avoid it.
And teaching them how to fight too. I don't think these Yosokis know how to fight.
Well, everyone's sort of scrappy and got some moxie, but yeah, I mean, there's a point there too. It doesn't always come easy to everybody. Not everyone's, you know, talented, but
Well, I could maybe,
yeah, anything really. And so yeah, so anyway, so you got 2 days to kind of set the groundwork for this. Maybe find where Dust is, maybe not. but I guess first things first is I've got to understand more about the relationship and more about where would be impactful to set them up for failure. And there's an amount of disruption that I know has to come, but to try and shield as many innocents from it is important to me. And so the social media stuff feels easy and important too, but it's also, just something I could do from a distance and still support this. But really I need someone on the ground to buy into this. And I mean, I think there's, between Nine and Tobin and Wicket, there's definitely someone in the Scab Rats family, but that's really putting the bullseye on their back. So,
Gibbs, it seems like you have put a lot of thought into this.
well, I had the whole 45-minute drive between here and Port Recready. And this is all just to try to avoid having to reach out to the...
Gibbs, you have a text from Spice.
Okay.
So as you look down at your communicator, you can see Spice just asking, does Tobin have all their fingers?
I think so. Hold on. I have the list.
Uh-oh. Did someone
Tobin
lose
has a
finger?
cybernetic eye, but Tobin does have all their fingers.
So what are you responding to Spice?
Oh, I respond. Last I saw, they did.
Okay. A couple seconds go by. Just a little thumbs up emote.
Okay. Great. Yeah, Jitters doesn't have legs, but Tobin's got a cybernetic eye.
So, what would you propose to do in 2 days to make yourself feel better about this situation?
So I'm going to set up all of the social media, and I've got some ideas for articles to post on our website. And I want them to be factual. So I had 3 ideas, but I guess if Chesterfield really does own 75%, then that's not something newsworthy. And that I can manage from the road, because I understand I also have an obligation to you guys in Mosaic to return the debt that I have. So as much as I'd love to stay, I don't think that's feasible. I want to go to a print shop and print out some of these flyers and some of the documentation and just have some literature.
I mean, wouldn't your family come first before your bounty hunting? I mean, Gibbs, people with happy families don't become bounty hunters. We're used to getting smacked around. We don't get homesick because we don't have homes. We can't really trust anyone. And when I look at you, I see someone with a family. I met your family. I wish I was you sometimes.
My family's not going to survive with the resources that they have. And at the very least, by being on the road, I can continue to cash in on the bounties and send money back home and talk to Chip and Crumb. I mean, we also need connections. There's a lot of things I can't do from Petrus 4. I don't have a ship if you guys should leave me behind. And so there's got to be friends out in the galaxy that are going to be sympathetic to this cause. And I'm not going to make it all about me all the time, I promise. But, I don't know a lot of people that's going to want this to go back to a junkyard, but if anyone doesn't like bullies, I mean, that's a call to my cause, I guess. So, no, I want to stay, but...
You're conflicted.
Yeah, and also, Peep denied my leave of absence.
Leave of absence?
So, it's not quite as much of my choice as I'd like it to be, but... reality does say that they don't have funds to support this. It's gonna cost money. It's gonna cost credits to get armor and guns and things to fight tanks. I mean, we don't have that now. I'm not gonna have it if I leave and not have a job.
Gibbs, with all due respect, I think you're focusing on an aspect of the greater situation here that is not the root cause of your issues.
Well, I don't think I quite understand the root cause of my issue.
I think that Chesterfield, given my understanding, is simply a figurehead.
Yeah.
But that the
wrote
actions
that.
taking place is largely as a result of Rentropy. So, stirring up trouble for Chesterfield while enticing may not prove very fruitful, because if Chesterfield is taken out, for example, Rentropy would probably just find another figurehead to replace him with.
Right, so I thought about that Aclama lady, but then, when we were talking about her, she lives in like some big mansion with lots of tanks and guns, and so I don't think this is something we can do alone. And
I agree. Let alone in 2 days.
So I guess the focus for the 2 days is laying groundwork, collecting information, maybe seeing where they hide Oobleck and Dust and whomever else they've got hidden, getting enough tools and resources to my family, but also anyone else who cares, and trying to do it stealthily until we've collected enough resources to really take on Rentropy and Aclama. But I don't want to leave these people with another day without any hope that something's changing, even if it's small and subtle.
May I suggest something?
Please.
Given that we have 2 days off in which to do whatever we can to help alleviate your situation so that you can perform optimally for our crew,
Yes.
I would suggest, rather than spending time focusing on these elements, going towards Rentropy. And we have a somewhat favorable position with them right now.
Right. I guess that's true.
Perhaps there's some reasoning that you could make with them in order to encourage them to find someone else more favorable to your cause who could replace Chesterfield.
I mean, I think that's a suspicious angle to take because they're probably pretty happy with whatever Chesterfield's done thus far. But I'd be happy to see if we can cash in that favor. I'm just hesitant to do it because once we do, it's gone. And favors are currency here, and
Which favor are you referring to?
that fact that we got the bounty for the guy, and for the guy we just turned in, whose name I don't remember, the four-armed guy.
It's a long name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the bounty for the four-armed guy, and we also, on the way in, protected one of the Rentropy ships. So we have a favor of pretty substantial value, and I totally understand that, but to go there right now and kind of cash in that favor,
I'm not saying that we cash in any favor. I'm just saying that perhaps seeking out more information from Rentropy about their perspective of the matters taking place
Right.
in Junk Falls.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's something that they could tell us which might give us a means to find a more favorable partnership with someone in Junk Falls.
It feels like they just want sort of cheap real estate. I mean, it can't have been that expensive to sell the junkyard originally. So I agree. I totally agree. Yes, please. And I'd love to do this under the guise of Mosaic as opposed to as a scab rat, just because I want to try to avoid as much direct contact between our poking around and my family.
I would
Because they're
agree.
going to live here, and I'm protected by being...
in our dealings with Rentropy, we should stay as innocuous as possible. If we approach them as members of Mosaic Team 5, they would have no reason to suspect that you would be directly involved.
Yeah, that makes sense.
By the same token, we shouldn't implicate ourselves in any of the situations taking place as Mosaic Team 5.
Right.
We're bounty hunters. We're not meant to be involved in these things.
I understand, but you have to understand that I ultimately will be both.
I do understand.
Okay. But it's a balance I'm willing to struggle with as much as possible just to...
I see that it causes you a lot of distress, and I can't allow it to continue because you are a member of this crew, and if you are not able to perform to your best abilities, then it's something that we need to address.
Right. And I just, you know, I know we sort of were talking about the J Brigade and we're going on a bounty for them. It sounds like next. That's the one keeps lining up on Dorado. And I...
Yes, Dorado.
Yeah. And I feel like that's... You know, we're fighting a corporation, and as people, that's hard, and, like, Jade Brigades feels like more of, like, a corporation fighting a corporation, so that might be easier, but, I don't know, they kind of skeeved me out a little bit, and I worry that I'm just picking a different evil for the planet instead of just solving the one that's here. So, I just want to...
Gibbs, you are one Yusoki.
I know, but the world's really big, and...
I know. But it's not all on you to take care of everything.
No, but if I could take care of, like, 90% of things, everyone else can do the 1%, and 1% divided, like, 100 million ways is, like, really reasonable.
That's not possible for you.
I know.
Bubbs is, like, trying to do math on his fingers.
I know. And a small percent of a big number is still a big number. And I know that. So, I guess we do what we can in 2 days. It's the night of the first day. We'll wake up or so. And I don't know. I also kind of want to talk to people. I want to know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Rentropy is the solution. And maybe my family's just picked the wrong side of this battle. And everyone's actually really happy with this Food for All program, and my family's just the people buying the food or growing the food. And I want to know that I'm right before I dive too headlong into these things. If 70% of Junk Falls has already been sold, I want to know that they're unhappy with that decision before a lot of this goes forward. So I guess I just want to talk to people too, as well as Rentropy, and with as much information as I can get, then we can make decisions about which of any to move forward with. Or, you know, Chip and Crumb criticized us me for not getting on board with the progress, and it's not that I'm opposed to the progress, it's just we didn't need progress when everything was fine, and now I see that it's not fine, and that's tough. So I just want to know that I'm doing the right thing, and I'm gonna invest all this energy and effort and credits into all these things, but that's all. It's a lot, though. All is a lot. I hear you.
So, Gibbs, I would suggest take it one bit at a time.
Well, I got checklists.
2 days, yes, they're very nice.
Well-organized checklists.
Perhaps we could maybe, split up and each do a certain thing.
Yeah. Because we got Operation Icker, we got Operation Vandalize the fuck out of Chesterfield's face everywhere.
You had a point about first finding out
Oh, right.
how
Yeah.
people actually feel.
A fact-finding mission.
Because
Yeah.
while it seems as if Chesterfield was coercive in his acquiring of 75% of Junk Falls,
Right.
if they made that choice, that was their choice ultimately. If it
Right.
did seem like there was foul play, given what I saw with your family, then that would be more reason to seek out Rentropy and
Right.
see what their perspective is.
Right. Yeah.
If they condone that behavior, then
Right. And I just want to avoid being just another outsider who's coming in and making changes that people don't actually want. And so that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I think, first thing tomorrow we street team it and boots on the ground, see if people are happy or upset or angry at.
Are you guys going to be the Census Bureau? Is that what
Yes.
we're doing in our Starfinder
Why
campaign?
not? Just
How
like,
do you feel about Chesterfield?
I like how I wrote this sweeping epic space opera, space western, and it's becoming Census Bureau 2050.
Hi, do you have a moment to speak about how you're feeling about the recent changes to Junk Falls?
Amazing. I love that the civil engagement role playing. It's
Yeah.
Now, regarding Chesterfield, would you
Yes.
say that you are 1, very dissatisfied, 2, moderately dissatisfied, 3, dissatisfied, 4, neutral, or 5, okay?
slightly satisfied.
And remember, if you answer our questions, you may be able to enter into a raffle to win a gift card to Rentropy Services.
We don't have that. That's not part of the deal.
You guys have a lot of beef
We're
jerky.
strictly civil servants. We have no funds.
Not even this fantasy game can get away from that.
No.
Well, Gibbs, I will assist you in whatever way you think is best for the next 2 days.
Me too.
But I hope that after those 2 days we can leave and you will be able to focus on our next objective.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm gonna retweet things and maybe, you know, now that my family's got a phone, they can just like text me updates, but you guys all have that, right? Like people text you things and
No one texts me anything, really.
really? Okay, well, that's all. It's gonna be very.
Bubbs, you got a text.
Oh, wait. Oh, I have a text, guys.
Oh
I'm gonna look at my text.
For shade.
You pull up a text and it says, "Make your," and then you realize it's just spam.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. It's just one of those, you know.
yeah. Well, sometimes if you
Spam.
sign up for those free trials, they'll send you like blue pills in a box. It's great.
Oh,
Weirdly, this is what this one's for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I get you. I'm there, Joe. Okay. Why don't you guys rest and tomorrow we'll get started on all of this and see what we can do. 2 days.
sounds good. And I'm gonna just pull out, and I'm gonna remember for my date. Women don't like hand sanitizer wipes when they're crying. They like regular wipes.
Oh, growth, character.
And I'm gonna give her a regular wipe. To not do that.
Chewy. Okay. Thanks. I was a little hungry.
There's for your eyes. Never mind.
Great. Okay.
I'm gonna go back to the pilot's
Go.
the cockpit.
You head back to the cockpit.
I'm gonna stay up all night on my little data pad, setting up an Infosphere website, a username on every major social media site of JFWABJ, an email address. Like, I'm gonna set up a no reply and an info at, but they're both gonna go to like forward to Gibbs's personal email
Sure,
or
sure,
whatever.
sure.
I don't know how that works. I'm gonna write, and they're not the best articles, I don't think.
Let's find out.
But I'm gonna write 2 articles. One of which is titled "Rat King Police Forced Out of Junk Falls by Local Militant Group," and I'm gonna talk about all the ramifications of having no military present, and just like kind of generalize it.
Sure.
And then the last one, or the second one, is "Lack of accessible medical care in Junk Falls leads to grievous wounds and amputations." And I'm gonna put a lot of sad amputized puppy photos on this article.
Wow,
Really like
okay.
pull on the heartstrings,
Damn.
and just talk about how like I don't know, like this is all based on the assumption that like my family doesn't have access to medical care, so it's really like there's no medical facilities in Junk Falls currently, and all these changes are happening, but like
I like how all the images that are going to be amputee puppies, not like people.
no, they're
Okay.
puppies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I was just thinking it's the Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, exactly. It's very like
Absolutely, yeah.
Gibbs' call to action is like everyone likes puppies and like this is great.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, that's commercial.
I'm gonna make a Vista page, visual page or whatever.
A Visage page.
Visage page, and like the plan is I'm gonna go out and like this is over the night that your guys are sleeping, and find ways to show that it's like the Rentropy changes / Chesterfield changes are like veneer. Like I'm gonna find ways that it's like they're like they're systematic changes, but they're not good changes and they're like poorly done.
Okay. So first,
Yeah.
as you write these articles, you stay up. You hear Shade go off to the cockpit. Bubbs, what are you doing?
Honestly, I think I'm probably going to go to the armory. I'm going to take the 4 punching gloves
Okay.
that I got for my Donkey Kong
yeah.
prize. I'm going to hang up in the armory. I'm going to do something with them probably later at some point.
Great. You take out this big stuffed gorilla. You take the boxing gloves off.
No, the
each
gorilla I
of your
gave to a
hands.
kid.
Okay, so you just
Yeah.
brought... Yeah, right.
Yeah, he
I
kicked me in the
forgot
shin.
about that kid. He does not like you, yes. Okay, no problem. You do that.
Yeah.
Gibbs,
Yeah.
you begin to write. And as you do so, go ahead and make a diplomacy check. And we'll see how your first article lands.
Okay. 19! I'm killing it tonight! Diplomacy is +7.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
Gibbs is
26.
Good at this shit.
So what was the first article? That was the one about...
Local militant group, or Rat King police forced out of Junk Falls by local militant group.
Okay, fantastic. So you write all about this. You write about being careful not to use like names, but you think a little bit about Tanya's story. You generalize the account, and you make it, lean a little bit less about the fact that Chesterfield runs a pretty tight ship, and a lot more about the fact that there's vigilantes gunning people down the street.
Yeah.
You really emphasize that. Are you mentioning Chesterfield by name?
So the third article I was going to write was going to mention Chesterfield by name.
Okay, but this one particular.
But this one, no.
Okay, excellent. So you write that, you feel very confident with it. You take a little bit of time, you pull up some stock photos, you really put some nice touches on it. And no problem, you send it out on your website, on your Visage page. It goes out. And almost immediately, I would say, with that role especially, you time it just right around 9 o'clock, right when people are settling in and beginning to read. And so all of a sudden, like every couple of seconds, you're just getting little notifications. It's definitely blowing up. So you do that.
We're going viral.
Second article. This is the one about access to healthcare.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
16.
Okay.
+7 is 23.
Okay. I should have rolled dice now. First time of the night for me. Okay. So you spend a little bit of time, now a little bit later. Now it's close to 10:30. Softly from the armory, you can hear the snoring of Bubbs, which weirdly sounds clean. It's like a little squeak to it. You kind of lean out of the door at one point. You can see Shade just kind of sitting idly in the cockpit, as he does. And no problem, you write this article. You're a little bit sleepier. And as you're taking the time, you do doze off a little bit. And there's times where you wake up and there's just www. You have to backspace a couple times. But you write the article. It's not as good as your first.
Right.
And at this point, too, now a little bit later in the night, people don't access it right away.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. Shade, are you doing anything just kind of plugging in for the night?
What happened to all of the equipment that we got off of?
It's probably I probably put it in the armory
Yeah.
with everything.
Got off of whom, though? Because if it was off of Chesterfield's
Off of-
man.
No, off of the four-armed assassin, like
All the weapons?
Yeah.
the weapons and the survival straw and the
Weaponsmithing kit.
Yeah, the smithing
Yeah.
kit. And
That's
the
up to you
med
guys.
kit
You
and
guys
stuff.
have it.
You would have had
Well,
it.
I don't think I ever actually had it.
I think I probably loaded it and
'Cause-
put it in the armory.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the moment, we'll say it's in the armor.
Okay.
Someone should write that note down so that we don't forget we have things.
Yeah, I guess I would maybe modify the armor that we got to make it usable for someone.
Which armor?
The microcord.
Gotcha.
Kasatha
Right. You
microcord.
stripped him down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
it's
who
got
are
the
you-
jump jets, right?
It does. It has jump jets. So when you take some time to examine it, it is sized for Kasatha, forearms, all that kind of stuff. But Has jump jets in as a armor modification. You can see they're activated from the shoes. There's like a very minute sensor that you can activate. And basically they work to turn your movement speed into flying speed.
Okay.
You do need to land. That is the caveat there.
I remember reading
Okay.
that.
But I've got my descent thrusters.
So, yeah, you can go ahead. You're taking some time to do that.
Okay.
I do have a question. Is the tactical chitin blade? I don't know if I said that
Tactical.
Tactical.
right. Oh,
The tactical chitin blade.
was it Titan?
Chitin.
Chitin. Okay. Is that like you said? It's like brass knuckles, ish.
No, that's the Nova Red Star
Okay.
thing. So what that is,
Red Star.
it just looks like a piece of metal, like a rounded piece of metal. When you think about,
Just like
I think it's Naruto with the little headband thing.
Yep.
Oh,
It looks kind of like that. There's like cloth that fastens around it that's red, and then this almost gold-looking plate. And that plate, when you squeeze and punch, it emits a red piercing
Rasengan.
point of plasma. And that, hits somebody and
So I
does
could
damage.
probably use that instead of the battle glove.
Oh, certainly.
Okay, I was just wondering. Okay, yeah,
It's
probably.
almost like the melee weapon
But there was
for you.
there was a knife that Gibbs kind of wanted. I forget what it
I
was
think
called.
that was the
The
chitin
The
blade.
chitin
The
blade,
chitin
yeah.
blade, yeah.
So
'cause
that blade,
that's like
when you
the
look at
bone
it, you can
knife.
see it's made of bone. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the bone knife.
Yeah.
Gibbs would have thought that was cool, but
Do you
that's
have
fine.
the stats for the Red Star brass knuckle?
I believe I gave it to you guys, didn't I?
Didn't you have it all? I thought it was handed
No,
off.
I just have the list of all the stuff. I didn't.
Yeah,
get
I
any
also
of
wrote down the stuff. The
Well,
list.
somebody
Spice!
has the physical.
Spice!
Spice.
Text us in chat if you have it.
I can. What I can do is I can print them out later.
Yeah.
But which one are you looking for? It's the Red Star.
Yeah, I'd probably get
Red
that.
Star
Since I'm like the only one who, goes mano a mano.
Yeah, sure.
I've got proficiency in.
Yeah, and then you tried to punch the former assassin, and he just whooped your butt silly.
I mean, yeah.
Bubbs
you
saw
had
that. He made a
4
mental
arms.
note when he
He
saw
had
you tried to
4
punch.
arms. I kept up with him until I died twice. Went down twice.
All right. It is. I'll have to find it later because
Yeah, no problem. Do it at the break or something.
These are those things you put between cheese. These are from cheese.
Oh,
the craft
Nice.
singles,
Yeah.
amazing.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
I
I'll
recommend
find it
yours.
for you at
This is
some
a
point.
receipt.
This is my favorite type of wheat then too.
Yeah,
The sea
the
salt.
gluten-free sea salt. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the good
super
one.
Tasty.
So,
I went to Sephora.
the two of you eventually find sleep, presumably, and if you want, can mark off a long rest and level up to level 4. Gibbs, for you,
Yes.
you are pulling an all-nighter.
I am pulling an all-nighter.
Okay.
I am reminded by the pain in my belly of the gunshot wounds of Chesterfield's man, and every time I start to think that I'm tired, I just think I've got a 2-day deadline, and I just got to keep going.
Sure. So go ahead and over the course of the evening, make a fortitude save for me.
Sure. Do I get a +4 to it for toughness?
Yeah, actually.
Because this is my shit. Because it's to fatigue caused by sleep. Oh no.
No.
Um. 9.
9.
I rolled a 4, but I'm tough, so it doubled it. But I only have a +1 to fortitude because Gibbs is not organically very good.
So, you feel very fatigued. And you feel, from a statistics standpoint, now that you are fatigued, you're taking a -1 penalty to saving throws against effects that cause the sleep condition.
I cannot run or charge. I have the fatigue condition.
Correct.
Okay.
And you are also currently at a -1 penalty for saving throws against effects that cause the sleep. This is going to continue to repeat as you're forcing yourself to stay awake, so it will get progressively harder to do so.
That's fine. We're good.
However, no problem.
I rolled so well.
4 o'clock in the morning runs around. You feel a little tired, but as you do, you remember the feeling of that gunshot to the stomach, and that drives you forward. What is the third article that you're going to write?
So I don't actually publish it
Money.
because it was prior to the conversation I had with Tanya.
Okay.
But it was basically like ownership of junk balls and right to sell, shady at best. It was the article's title, and that was the article I was specifically going to call out Chesterfield as being only a face man and question, does he actually have the paperwork behind him? And instead of publishing it, I just sort of do like notes on like things I want to talk about, and like, you know, it's only like 3 hours from now. Like, did he coerce the split paws, like sniffers and tar walkers? Like, it just turns into like a notes page as I start to get really tired and ramble into like, fuck Chesterfield and fuck his bullshit.
Sure, no problem.
But keeping all of my articles like factual,
Okay.
and that one I know like is not as factual as I'd like it to be. So until I have facts, I'm just like holding on to the notes.
Gotcha. Okay.
But-
So you're starting to edit it and modify it to a way where it can still fit your purpose.
Right.
Okay, no problem.
But I want it to hold up to scrutiny, and I know the best way to do that is to ground it in truth.
Sure.
So the rest of those are like, there's a little truth there, but this one seems like it's a pretty far stretch.
Okay, no problem.
Cool.
So you do that. More hours pass, and soon, Gibbs, you're aware that the sun is rising.
7 a.m., I go wake up the boys.
7 a.m.
The boys.
Immediately, you sit there watching your comm. You see like the 6:59, the little dots blinking, blinking, blinking. 7, bam, you go.
As the door opens, I probably am already turning around because it's like, oh, protocol begins.
Yeah.
7 a.m.
There's
Wake
a-
up protocol.
Yeah.
There's a print shop that opens in an hour, so you guys need to eat breakfast, shower, and let's get ready to go.
Oh, I showered last night, but I do have to do a pre-shower.
I'm just gonna get up
post-shower.
and start going.
Sure,
Okay,
no
here's
problem.
your meat pucks, and I toss them rations from the meat puck pile.
They're like so the same way that you buy individually wrapped Twinkies, it's like in a little piece of plastic like that. So it really is like a puck in the plastic.
And they last forever.
I'll just like,
Yeah, there's no expiration date.
probably
for
just
those,
like
so
grab it and just,
there you go. All right, massive role playing.
well,
So, you eat breakfast. You
Probably better than a
you
meat
take
puck,
your
though.
post shower, or your pre-shower.
Pre-post,
post-shower.
post-power, post-post, power.
Okay, excellent. So you're on step 4 of your hygiene for the morning.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes, it's you ready yet? The truck's idling.
5 more minutes.
There's moisture on this side of the door. I don't know if that's good or not.
I'd say like after 5 minutes of showering, I would just open the door and be like, get some clothes on. We're leaving.
Oh, I just finished.
Oh, good.
No problem. So you guys all head out. Are you taking the
5
truck all together?
Yeah, the
I think
truck
I
is
would take the
Gibbs's
motorcycle
vehicle.
still.
No.
Okay.
Just so we have like,
Yeah.
you know,
The
in case
ability.
we,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case
yeah.
we need to like, you know, split off.
Yeah, and I'd probably stay with
If I
Gibbs.
need to abandon the motorcycle, you know, we have
Gibbs is
another
attached to this
means
truck.
of
Sure, no
transport.
problem.
And I know Shade's a tougher, so I probably have to watch for Gibbs because she's the squishy one.
Okay, no problem.
Squishy.
So you guys-
You see Gibbs very, very tired. You see the kind of like the dark circles under the skin of her fur on
Gibbs,
the
did you
horizon.
sleep at all?
No.
Lack of sleep is not going to help you in this situation.
You know, funnily enough, though, I think it might.
I
You know why, though,
doubt that.
specifically?
No.
So I have this thought, we're going to go talk to people this morning after the print shop.
Okay.
And, like, I'm an outsider at this point, by all intents and purposes. I've been gone in almost 8-9 months. Like, that's enough to people could have forgotten me. I'm pretty forgettable. But I'm here now, and I'm
But-
devoted, and
Being tired still does not help that.
I don't want to forget and sleep. Your brain cleans itself and you start to forget all of these things, and
That's not how that
that's
works.
literally how it works.
I think my brain probably would clean itself if
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah. See? Your brain it flushes out stuff. I know. I've had to heal people's brains, and sleep is number one thing cuz it cleans the wounds. True facts.
No, I don't know.
Literally
about that.
Wikipedia it. Infospirit.
I don't.
Shade is just like,
I don't think that's science.
No, it's science.
It's like malfunctioning from the lack of logic.
It literally though is a real thing. Your brain cleans itself at night.
yeah, but it doesn't wipe your memories at night.
You don't know that. You've
It's
got a
not
hard
like,
drive.
Oh, squeaky, squeaky,
Yeah.
And technically, actually, for Shade, it can do that.
Yeah.
Cleans the RAM.
Yeah, Shade is the only one that can do that.
Well, anyways, we're driving. I load the boys and I load at least Bubbs into my car. And
Sure. Bubbs, you get in the car on the side of the truck, and that's
Maybe let Bubbs drive and you.
Well, I know where I'm going. I got my GPS here on my
I don't
watch.
actually have my license to
I
drive.
think I would probably remember the way, right?
To
Well,
where?
To Junk Falls from Rat
Sure.
King. Like,
It's
can you
just down
follow
Route
me?
6.
I think if I have someone over 16...
It's fine.
They-
Zoom. We're good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Would
I had a meat puck. I'm good.
Would you rather have the time preparing more?
Nope.
And
I'm good.
Bubbs could drive
Nope.
the vehicle? Or-
I'm excited if I could drive it. I've never
You don't want to
driven
start
any-
learning on a U-Haul.
That is.
That's the dumbest thing ever. How are you gonna park?
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I should probably practice on, like,
A reasonable sedan.
or like a bike. I mean, actually,
Reasonable sedan.
I've never
rental
actually
on open road
ridden
is
a bike
actually
either.
pretty good.
Right. Bikes are harder. You gotta balance and steer.
That's true.
At least U-Hauls, you just gotta steer. Anyways, you can hop in this one, put your motorcycle in back, or you can follow
I'll
/ lead or whatever. Great.
I'll follow.
I give you the address. I Googled it. I info speared it. I want to go to the Rat King print shop or the
So
Junk Falls.
specifically, it is not called Rat King Print Shop.
Yes.
It is called MOCOC, which is stands for Mobile Copy Center. They are generally operated out of old refitted USR Unity bombers, where the weaponry and military components have been removed to make room for a copy center style system that can accommodate up to 4 feet wide prints. It can also print 3D objects in plastic, wood, and concrete as well. There is one that is located in Central Rat King. That's the one that you would know about, and it is sort of like a similar to like a UPS store. These vehicles leave and go out places and come back, and there's always one that's open in the actual store. So you can go up there, much like much of the stuff in Rat King, it is automated, and so you can step up. There are 3 stations at the kiosk.
Great. So that's where I put into the GPSs and where I'm going.
Sure. So you begin to drive.
Yep.
You follow, Shade?
Mm-hmm.
Almost immediately you notice the driving different than it was yesterday, a little bit shakier. And actually, as you take like the first 5 minutes of this 10-minute drive, go ahead and make another fortitude save.
What? 4 plus. Do I get toughness to this?
Yeah.
Is it part of exhaustion? Okay. So 4 plus 4 plus 1 is
Also
9.
9
Yes.
again?
I rolled a 4 the first time, and then I can double it with my plus 4. So
Okay, no problem. You begin to drive.
great.
And these streets, though they are different, they're relatively familiar to you, and it very quickly autopilot. And as you do, the shaking of this truck, not strong in the shocks, despite the fact that it's hover, it still has shocks between the repulsor bed and the actual cab. Every bump, you kind of rock back and forth. Rock back and forth. Yeah. And
Gibbs made
before
that choice
too long, really, your eyes begin to feel like concrete. And for a moment, you shut them and you open them, and you see right over top a red light. There is this loud and this screech, and you look and stop. And as you stop the truck, this car comes within inches of you, Bubbs. You can see this sheer end, this big bug-like eyes looking, and even through the glass, you hear, "What the fuck?" And there's again there's this, and there's now like multiple cars honking and everything.
Gibbs, what are you doing? Go up.
Correct course. Put on the gas to try and get to where I'm going faster.
Sure, no problem.
We're good. We're good. We're good. I'm sorry. We're good. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm sorry. We're good.
I wasn't scared, but, well, let's just not do that again, okay?
Okay.
The rest of your trip goes with that issue. A little bit more awake from that
of course.
brief brush. You make it to this copy center. You can see about 7:15 in the morning. Not a lot of traffic. Not a lot of people making copies.
Right.
So there are 3 kiosks open.
Cool. I load up the image that I've like doodled.
Sure.
And I like refine it in there, whatever the system. I like select like enhance until
Sure.
it like looks like I want it to look. And I print out 10,000 stickers with the extra adhesive option selected.
Okay.
And I would like them to look like this, the bandages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I want it to be like, I'm basing this off of in real life the like infosphere, the InfoWars BS.
Okay.
Oh, with
Where-
Alex Jones?
Where it's like, right, where it's like they like, so there's this specific electrical box I drive by on my way home, and it's like every time I sit at this one red light, I like look to my right, and there's like Infosphere tickets, and it's like arrest Fauci and like whatever, like all this like stuff where it's like, oh, I don't agree with this, but
So
it's there, and
for-
I look at it, so
For
like,
what it's worth,
yeah,
10,000 stickers. When
But
you
they're
put that in,
yeah,
that comes out to 500 credits. For 10,000 extra refined adhesive stickers, that's a lot of stickers. But
you
you
pick up
can start-
do I refreshed? Has Pip paid us yet?
You have 1,000 credits more in your inventory. Yes, that happened in the last session.
Oh,
Do we each have 1,000 or?
Yeah, remember those little ding
Yeah,
ding
you
ding?
gave
You
them
guys all had 1,000 credits.
well, so I turned towards Bubbs, kind of sheepishly. Hey, Bubbs.
Hey.
I hate to ask this because it's a little awkward, but I'm glad Spice isn't here to have this conversation with you. Do you think at some point you might be able to pay me back for the dinner I fronted?
Oh, I mean, I was supposed to take Spice on another dinner, but I mean, maybe we could, have a fancy meal on the ship.
Yeah, I could clear out of the kitchen for you to do that, absolutely. Any night you ask. I
Yeah.
will even clean it before I leave if that would make it easier for you to cook.
I don't know really how to cook, or really.
Really?
I can't really. I don't know if I told you this, but I have no sense of taste.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
I like how you spent so much money at that restaurant too. And you
Yeah.
didn't taste anything.
so I could cook a dinner. I mean, it's better than meat pucks, but I really could cook. I mean, I've done kind of campfire cooking my entire life, and it's usually kind of that kind of big batch bland cooking because there's a lot of mouths to feed, but I have a skill to cook.
I mean, as long as you, wash your hands before.
I
And,
promise I'll even pin back my ears.
okay, I guess that's a deal.
Okay.
How much do you need?
I think you owe me only 400, right?
But how much do you need?
Only 400. Only
Okay, then.
what you owe me. I'm not looking for more.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So with the 400 plus my own 500, or sorry, my own 100,
Sure.
I'm going to buy 10,000 extra adhesive stickers.
Wow. Okay.
And I also would like to print out at the same time for extra credits, I understand. Probably like 200 of the larger flyers with at the bottom is the jfwabj.infosphere.com or whatever. Like
How many are you printing out?
200 of the larger sort of, but I want them to be like flyer size,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
index cards or whatever.
Well, the thing is, those are actually cheaper because they don't have the adhesives. and
Right,
not stickers,
yeah.
So that's not terribly hard to do. For 200 of those, interestingly,
Yes.
not in color.
So I don't own a color printer. That's why they're black and white here.
Sure.
But this is like, so this is a junk pile. I don't know if you realize that.
I can see that.
So yeah, in color.
And this is a Band-Aid, right?
Yeah.
Is this like a wet like Band-Aid that you find on top of a pool?
So the whole
Band-Aid or a new
idea,
brand?
Gibbs's like thought process / Ariana's was that Rentropy is like a bandage on a larger problem. The larger problem being that at one point, Junk Fall was a garbage heap. And so some of her Instagram captions are like, would you want to live here after only 8 months / a year? Like, where it was like one picture is like a junkyard and one picture is like the new Rentropy, where it's like someone died in your apartment and now so like she understands that dichotomy enough to be like not offended by it and is gonna like utilize that, where it's like, would you want to live in this apartment if someone died here 2 years ago? Like, maybe not. So her whole thing is like, Junk Falls was at one point an actual junkyard, and so like whatever the fuck Rentropy's doing is just like that. So
love it.
So, like,
15 credits for 200
the
of those.
junk is a bad thing now?
So that's what she was trying
She's,
to
like,
I was trying to say earlier, was like
presenting
she's
it
not
as-
she's not expecting it to go back to a junkyard, but she
But to,
understands that like
Keep the heart of the junk.
Yeah.
keep the heart of the junk, but like also like equality for all, and like why is like some people suffering and some people have free food? Like she's not sure. Like
Well, that sounds
she's 'cause
like
like
your family's a
stats wise,
holdout.
like very intelligent and like
Right.
gets it
Yeah.
and like is trying to figure out how to like wrestle with this dichotomy of like, yes, she would love it to go back to a junkyard, but she can understand that like with all of your judgment that you guys have passed on her, maybe that's not the best thing. And she's accomplished a lot when she's not been junky. Like she got a lot when she was clean, and she got a lot like from the like hotel person, and like she got thrown out of trash cans like prior to meeting you guys, and that was like hard. And so like a lot of her thought process is like not necessarily like it needs to go back to a junkyard. It just needs to not be what it is now, and she doesn't know what it's gonna look like. So like that's where I'm going with this. But cool. So I owe 115 credits. I'm gonna do the math.
So you guys see Gibbs prints out. All three of these terminals are pumping out stickers and flyers. This is like an industrial operation. 10,000 stickers is a lot of stickers.
A lot of stickers.
I don't think people I see Olive saying those are expensive stickers. That's
No,
less
that's
than,
not actually that expensive.
That's less than 10 cents a sticker.
Right.
If you
just
want
a lot of stickers.
Yeah, no, I'm doing math for all this.
Should have
This-
used one of those Vistaprint promo codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a coupon code. I found this one in the junk pile, but it was expired from like 2021, however long ago that was.
How is that still intact?
Yeah, it's like 200.
It was. I guess it was in. It was in a Ziploc baggie. I had
Etched
to
in
like.
stone.
I had to rip apart, like you know how old people recycle and like garbage, like
Yeah.
like
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
grocery
The
store.
garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's what I found it in, and it's not. They won't accept expired coupons here, but it's just a terminal.
It won't even. They don't even accept paper coupons anymore. That doesn't exist.
Paper is like a precious
Right.
resource.
But look at this. I've got like 400 points, 400 Moki points towards my next purchase.
If you want, you have enough for a keychain. You have enough for a couple other things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, Gibbs takes the free coffee mug.
Yeah. Sure.
Gibbs has a free Moki coffee mug now. She's going to put it with her free DeSanto Corp.
It isn't just a free coffee mug. It's a 32-ounce insulated tumbler. Yeah, it's nice.
Could definitely put a lot of
Gibbs is
coffee in there.
Gibbs is going to need a lot of coffee to get through
Yeah.
this day. Next stop is, in fact, a coffee shop. Which she will get a discount at, because whenever you bring your own cup somewhere, you get a discount on your coffee, right? Like, that's a thing. Continue.
Absolutely.
In this place, yeah.
And so, not coffee shops, but what you have been seeing around, similar to water fountains. These water fountains a little bit different in that they do have a couple different options, and they're so when you look at them, it looks almost like a very fancy espresso machine. When you put your bottle in there, and you can see it articulate, so it'll allow up to a certain size. It'll fill up to a certain amount, and you would imagine with your cred stick in there, it will charge you based on the volume. Most of these stations accommodate water, they accommodate coffee, they accommodate tea, and a variety of other commonplace beverages.
I put in the new free coffee mug,
Yeah, sure.
unwashed, obviously,
Yeah,
into the free coffee dispenser thingy.
no problem.
How much can I get a credit's worth of coffee?
Yeah, sure. That's
Great.
32 ounces of coffee, iced or hot, your choice.
Hot. Gibbs
you
is a
go.
hot coffee person.
There you go.
I go back and collect all my stickers, put them in all the various pockets, and also like pull out a recycling bag and like load it up that
Sure.
Gibbs has in her pocket. Okay, we ready?
So, is your plan to sticker?
So here's my plan. They have a lot of like automated cleanings and a lot of things, but these are extra adhesive, so I think they're gonna require like real people to have to clean them.
There was a warning on the machine that's like, yeah, don't give these to kids because they're going to put them on
Yeah.
things and they don't really come off.
Yeah. So my idea is just to disrupt the Rentropy architecture enough to make people look at this, and at some point they're gonna Google, like, the thing is like, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to go viral, like I don't have to be famous. I just have to be the top thing of when you Google Junk Falls. It just has to show up that this is a concern, you know? That there's problems here.
Gibbs is trying to, you understand, Shade, from your perspective, Gibbs is trying to crack the algorithm. Like this is there is sense to what she's doing, absolutely.
So if I can just spread these out to people who are sympathetic to our cause, which we're gonna go find now, then they'll continue when I'm gone because they're extra adhesive. Like that's gotta last at least 6 months with rain and weather and all of those things. And so if they're here when I'm gone, then they'll survive. And then if I just can update the websites that'll direct everyone to it, then it'll work out, right? Like,
I think that makes sense.
it's just about adding to the narrative, not even controlling it, just another voice besides Rentropy's.
Gibbs, your communicator, has a text.
I look it up.
It's from Tobin.
Tobin!
And as you look, it is the very bottom corner is a very frustrated looking Tobin, and the rest of the top corner is most of what's his name? Most of Hoagie's paw, and then just a little corner of his butt.
I send him a butt selfie back.
Okay.
And I make sure that Shade's hand is in it or something.
Okay. Excellent.
And
Shade, all of a sudden, Gibbs wheels around in front of you. You see Gibbs looking up at you, and the camera just goes back, and there is a photo now, presumably of you.
he's figuring it out. At least my family is.
That's good.
Yeah. So, any other questions about what I'm doing here, or are we good?
Many, but I don't think that you...
We don't have time. Got it. Let's go. Get back in the truck. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. Is the truck parked somewhere I can stay for a bit?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I'm going to walk in a line towards my home, towards the place where the scab rats are. And I'm just going to knock on doors on that line and see what happens, I guess.
As she's doing that, I'm gonna walk back, just like a slower pace with Shade.
Shade, when we were driving, we almost got in an accident. I think Gibbs is working too hard. I don't...
I agree.
Is there anything we can do?
Just be around for when she eventually collapses from exhaustion. Given her current state of mind, I don't think that there's much that will deter her from whatever it is she's trying to do here. The only thing that I see is being able to support her as best we can so that she doesn't hurt herself.
Right.
Or get into any more trouble with the freshies.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, let's make sure she doesn't get in any trouble. Come on.
Ding, 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 on the first door that I
Sure.
find.
So you go up to the first, and so the street that you're on, well, let's say you have a fair option in the
Okay.
street. So you can take a street that's really going to be more commercial or more residential.
Residential.
Okay, no problem. So you go to the very first of these, like residential, not high rises, but 3 to 4 story buildings. And you'd imagine probably apartments. Different than the ones that you remember being here. These are concrete structures, white, very well kept. You can see there are plants growing, ornamental, of course, off the sides. There are solar panels mounted up on the top. But you go up to the door. You can see there are like 17 or 18 different little buzzers, all with different names and things like that. Like, you hear a number of things at once. First, you hear like the yes, and then you hear like another person that's like, who is it? And then somebody unlocks the door because that's what always happens when somebody rings all of them. If you want, you could open the door and enter.
Yeah.
Sure. So you walk into the opening. You can see concrete flooring, very almost like astroturf. And as you touch it, it's alive, but this is very unnatural grass, designed to be kept in super low light. It's like sod on the first floor, almost uses carpeting. And the concrete stairs go up, and you can see up and up and up, like 4 stories. You see somebody like leaning over the front, kind of looking at you, and then they kind of like go over, and you hear a door open. There's a few other people that are just kind of milling about, but because it is 7:39, this is a great place for us to take a break as you begin your grassroots activism adventure.
Oh my gosh, we're dropping leaflets. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
done that
phenomenal.
in
So-
years.
It's like, who are those people? The religious people?
Mormons.
Mormons?
No, the
Jehovah's
No,
Witnesses.
that's Dan's character in the other campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to step away for just a quick second for a little bit of a break. It is 7:40. Why don't we come back right around like 7:55, give or take. We'll see you then. Thanks.
Tara.
And welcome back to Mosaic Team 5, where we talk about hot cheese Oreos, I guess. I'm not sure
Not
where
hot
that
cheese
came from.
Oreos.
Have you ever tried Oreos with hummus? Very good.
Okay. We're getting into a zone that I'm not ready to adventure to yet. So we're going to get back to Starfinder. Thank you if you stuck with us through the break. If you're just joining us, welcome to our Starfinder campaign. So we come back to the very tired Yosoki Gibbs leading the android Shade and the human soldier Bubbs through the streets of Rat King, a city on the planet of Petrus 4. You've knocked on the... Well, first of all, you rang every single buzzer in this apartment building, found somebody to buzz you in, and now stand in the lobby of this place, walking up the steps to the very first door, apartment number 1.
Hey guys, why don't you guys go canvas a different door? You're a little intimidating, and I kind of fit in here. Do you want to do like floor 2, 4, 3, and 4?
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
I'll meet you. I'll holler up the stairs. I'm sure it'll echo. Okay, goodbye. And I go down floor
don't-
1.
Sure.
Have any of the stickers?
Oh. And I throw 30 into the air or so, and hand you each a stack of like, I don't know, 100. I got a shit ton. And also each give you like 10 or so of the bigger flyers that largely are the same thing, but like a little more in depth. And I'm like, just, you know.
The door in front of you opens, and you see a little humanoid boy. He wears like a little newsy cap. He has suspenders on, and he's pulling a little red barrel. And you could see he stops, looking up at you, and he looks at your big stack of papers and just goes, "What are you doing?"
Good morning. I am here to give all the good little boys and girls stickers. Would you like a pile?
Okay.
Okay. You just have to promise me you'll put them literally anywhere and everywhere.
Well, today's your lucky day, miss. I sell newspapers, and I'm on my way to go pick up my daily supply. And he like has his little wagon out here.
Yeah.
I'll put the stickers on your paper.
Great. Absolutely. Here you go. And I give them a stack, I don't know, like 100, 150.
no
Do I have to
problem.
keep track of how many I give out?
I would, yeah. So
Oh.
currently you're about what?
9,000.
9,990.
Go ahead and roll
9,700.
a diplomacy check for me real quick.
Yeah, sure. Gladly.
This is, by the way, thanks to Olive's wheel.
Oh, good.
Oh.
I got a 3 on the dice, and I assume it's a -1. But my diplomacy is +7, so it would be 9.
9. Okay. He skips off, holding on to these stickers, and you hear the little wheels and the wheelbarrow squeak as he goes down the hall. Kind of clunks down the steps and then out the door.
I've been giving my supplies. I kind of catch the door behind him and start walking down the hall.
Okay,
Thank
this
you
is like
for-
an apartment that you are walking into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. I mean, like...
you kind of peer in the door. You see there's a coat hanger like right next to it. You can see like there's a little picture on a table in the end of the hall. And when a door goes left, a door goes right. You smell the smells of breakfast being made. Yeah, this is like an apartment, like a family lives here.
So I sort of close the door behind me and then
Sure.
knock on it.
Okay.
And then, like, kind of wait for Mama.
You just you hear some footsteps and then the door opens up. Billy, oh, yes.
Hi, I just met your son Billy. He was on his way to his newspaper route. But
Is everything okay?
Absolutely. He's just. I passed him in the hall, and he's a lovely boy. Congratulations.
Are you okay? You're just covered in
Yeah. Well, I'm actually here to talk to you about. Have you lived here a while? Like, this is probably a lot of personal questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh, hi. I'm Gibbs. I'm a local, but I'm having a problem with Chesterfield, and I'm just sort of like, just seeing if other people have this problem. Like, earnestly, I don't really have like a spiel. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I know it's breakfast time, and
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you selling something?
No. I'm just, I wasn't sure if you've lived here a while and if you were part of an original clan, and if you were happy with the changes that Chesterfield's brought about, because I'm not super happy with them, to be perfectly frank. And so I can totally get out of your way, and
Well, I didn't live in Junk Falls. I've lived here for a long time.
oh, okay.
But if you had another 10 minutes up the road, you said you were from here?
Yeah.
So, just go across the bridge and get on the highway and...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We're not in Junk Falls right now, are we?
Right.
Oh, whoops.
Word wrecking.
I forgot.
You're
that.
walking down the street and just talking to the first people. that you
Yeah.
see.
Okay. Oh, okay. Goodbye. Good morning. Goodbye. And I walk away, and I'm like, oh wait, boys.
You can hear from the other side of the door, who was it? And just like, I really don't know.
It was Gibbs.
Hey guys, I forgot. We're not in. We have to go to Junk Falls. We're in Rat King proper. Like, whoops. So let's get in the truck and we'll go.
I'm gonna give Shade a look of like, she's kind of tired-ish.
Maybe Bubbs should drive a
Bubs
little
can't
bit.
drive.
He can probably.
Well, if the rules.
Do you want to drive the truck? I can drive the
The
motorcycle.
rules state that you have to have a guardian with you at all times if you're going to drive, and then you also have to have at least 500 hours. But I could do it if you're training me to have the hours to drive.
Yes, we will train you to get the
Oh
hours.
yes.
Like,
Okay, but step on it.
Oh okay. I'm real excited. I mean, I'm not gonna be as a good pilot like you Shade, because you're really good at it. But
am I? I guess I have to put the. Can you be the guardian?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'm not gonna put the bike in the back of the truck.
Okay.
I don't want it.
All right, Bubs. I hand you the keys, and I get in the car, and I show you the Prindle, and
I'll
I
ride
go through the
alongside.
steps, but it's very quick. It's like
So I
this
can
is the brake and the gas and the clutch and the emergency brake and the gears and whatever.
All right, Bubs is basically first. He's gonna look around, look at the tires, make sure there's air pressure in the
No!
tires. He's gonna
Do a
adjust
circle
the
check.
mirrors.
Yeah.
He's gonna make sure everyone's buckled, and he's like,
you're buckled.
Yeah, I'm buckled. I'm buckled. You move the seat back. My feet were really small.
Oh,
pretty
okay.
impressed by his throwing.
he's gonna make sure he has,
Thorough, yeah.
make sure everything's a little clean in
He
the center
knows-
console.
He knows what
right.
he's doing in that regard.
Go. Throw it in reverse. You just got back out of this parking spot, and then go forward.
Oh, hold on. 10 and 2. Okay, all right. Okay. Put it in reverse.
Go!
Oh, don't yell like that, okay, please.
And I just slowly put it in reverse and just
Sure.
back out.
Okay. First of all, fantastic. Second of all, there's definitely a roll that you're going to need to make for this. I just have to. Oh gosh. So, given the fact that this is, we're going to say this is a piloting check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pilot this.
Piloting a vehicle, whatever.
I have actually +3, and I'm proficient, I believe, in
There you
piloting.
go. Yeah. You have 30 hours on your
14, so 17.
17, no problem. Even with the loud voice of Gibbs urging you on, you almost like stomp on the gas and you pull your foot away.
It's like driving with your dad the first time.
Yeah,
and
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad, turn right.
Absolutely. Gibbs is very upset.
But you back up, you kind of grind the clutch a little bit, but you put it in first and pull out onto the road. For you, this is exhilarating. You've never been really, certainly never behind the wheel of a truck. And so up so high where looking down, you could see these hover cars go by below you. It's an exhilarating feeling. You start tearing along the street at about 15 miles an hour. There is traffic building up behind you.
Oh yeah, I'm probably letting people go too. I'm a very generous driver.
Yeah, so like every
Very generous.
every like 5 minutes, Bubbs pulls the truck over, comes to a complete stop to let like 30 people pass.
I text Tobin, and I'm like, this motherfucker, I'm teaching to drive. We're on our way to Junk Falls.
I'd probably
Heart
pull up
emoji,
and be
heart
like,
emoji, heart emoji. But the guy with like the gun against the head, like,
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Probably pull up to the side and be like, Bubbs, you need to stay on the road.
you got a big truck. You can never find parking spots big enough. They have to cross the traffic line.
Go
Just
at the
go.
speed
Gibbs, your
limit.
communicator
You're
rings. You
going
have a
too
little, you have
slow.
a response.
Okay, I guess I could go a bit.
Don't stop to let people around you. Just go.
Go at the speed limit. You're being more of a hazard by going slow.
Oh.
I checked my text.
I
You can
agree.
see it is from Tobin, and Tobin, it just says, "Did you write this?" And there's a link. And clicking on the link, it is a link to your article about lack of access to healthcare. You see all these puppies and kitties missing limbs, little question mark, and like the big eye emoji.
Maybe winky face.
Sure.
Heart, kill me emoji.
Okay. Tobin responds with another link. This link is to a local news site, and clicking through, give me just one moment, you can see an article that is actually linked to your own. And in a response, Rentropy has posted something.
Oh, fuck.
In response to your article, it appears, and this is posted by somebody named Acklema. In response to the recent outcry about lack of public access to health, Rentropy is stepping up its plans to install the Rentropy Gene Therapy Center. The Rentropy Gene Therapy Clinic is an 8-part modular facility which includes an outpatient clinic, a family planning center, and advanced gene therapy techniques that will revolutionize healthcare in community settings. This article shows some pictures of this beautiful modular building, glass, green, solar panels. And all of a sudden, as you kind of click through the comments, this is well received. Now you're beginning to see people kind of linking to your article some very negative reactions. And you recognize that Rentropy, certainly aware of your activity and definitely capable of responding very quickly.
Bubbs, go! Go! Go!
Oh, yeah, you can go.
No, you go.
Oh, I thought you meant to let this person go.
I'm going. I'm gonna like start backing up on the bike.
Sure.
Oh,
Go.
okay, let's put the pedal to the metal.
And I'm gonna just drive.
Pedal to the metal, 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, slowing down. At one point, you see Bubbs a speed limit that's for like a school zone, and you stick to that 5 miles an hour for a long time. You have Gibbs who's over there. Gibbs, and for you, it's hard to stay awake. You are barely moving, and these shocks rocking you back and forth, it's tough. You eventually, after about an hour and a half of what is normally an hour drive in its completion, make it out of the city and onto Route 6. You turn onto the highway, seeing these well-manicured little cherry trees that have been genetically engineered to produce no fruit that line the side of these highways. There's more traffic here, and as you pass other cars and trucks, you can definitely see there are actually a few bearing tents, things like that. The carnival now at an end from Port Macready, some of the rented supplies returning to Rat King. But no problem, 10 minutes goes by and you pull off onto a familiar exit. This one leading to Junk Falls. You see the familiar sign with Chesterfield's smiling face, the gold teeth grinning out. However, as you pull off at the end of this exit, things are a little bit different. There's been areas marked off already, these orange cones appearing. You can see these hovering little robotic signs. Construction. All of these branded with Rentropy. You're going to need to take an alternate route around in order to get there, but not too hard. This is built in a gridded system.
I'd probably pull up and be like, be on the lookout for freshies.
Oh,
Tanya said that there was more activity lately. It was probably because they were looking for whoever caused the issues at the Scat Rat's home.
well, according to the rules of the road, I have to be on the lookout for every pedestrian, but I will make sure a special
Bubbs, you
eye
should
before...
find a place to park.
Right. It's
And
better
practice
on
your
feet.
parallel parking.
Oh, I haven't really read that chapter
All
yet.
right, well then
Yes,
get out.
well-
I'll parallel park, and
Oh.
then we can get moving.
Learn by doing.
Oh, okay. I'll try my best.
So I'll try to parallel park.
No problem. With a little bit of time,
Yeah.
you
It's like
parallel
the
park the truck.
7-point.
Yeah, oh no. It's the Austin Powers like 33.
I love that scene.
Yeah, and it's like a really big space. This is not a space that you would need to parallel park in.
There's a car on each
So
end of
at
the
one
lot.
point, like the only car in front of you pulls out, and so it really is just an open stretch of road. But yeah, it takes you a little bit.
Trying to
You
line
park.
it up perfectly flush with
With the line.
sidewalk.
Exiting, you walk left and begin to walk towards an intersection that you could turn on and know. You would appear down the lefternmost road, the only one that you guys haven't really explored, on the way to the intersection that you've been to previously. As you turn the corner, you can see, A, the statue has been cleared away. There is now the podium. You can see an element to the left foot still attached, but the rubble has been removed. The construction is not there for that, however. There's a large group of Yosoki that you can see outside of one of these buildings. A couple more trailing out, and all of them holding boxes, bags, very hastily assembled. Maybe 50 or 60 of them in total around the building. And you see construction vehicles idling and pulling up, and a few of these more human than Yosoki. And actually, for what it is worth, you do see that there are 2 drow amongst these people. Various construction workers kind of pointing at this building that Yosoki are leaving.
Yosoki are leaving.
Yeah. And
They're
then,
deconstructing the building, or?
well, as you kind of question this, you see one of the drow turn around, hard hat on, and they unfold the sign and just 4 nails. And spread out, you see future site of the Rentropy Gene Therapy Clinic. You see these other Yosoki, some of them seem pretty sad. People being rushed out of this building. You hear one of them say, "I don't know what happened. I thought we had a couple more months."
I'm gonna turn and quick step with the Yosokis that are leaving.
Sure.
Following Gibbs the whole time.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
same here.
gonna kind of match their sort of hushed tone and say, "Oh my God, what happened here? I lived a block or 2 away. What's going on?"
One of them turns. You can see just long, really not dirty in the way that Gibbs is,
Right.
but a little bit. You can see probably hasn't bathed yet today. They look sleepy. They have that look in their eyes that they're still not quite awake. Probably about your age. And this Yosoki turns and just says, "We got up this morning and there were signs on all of our doors. We had sold this place in return for being part of this program, and we were told we would get to stay here, but they're moving in some kind of a clinic. I guess somebody said that there was this healthcare crisis here, so now they're saying we need to move to make room for this."
What program did you sell it originally to be part of? Was it the Food for All?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you know, this might be a lot to ask.
He's holding all
Where
of
are
this
you
stuff in
where are
his
you
arms.
moving to? Where are they moving you to? Do you know, or did they just kick you out
What
on
do
the
you
street?
mean moving us to? No, we have to leave. I don't know where I'm
Where
going
are
to stay.
you gonna go?
I'm going to go to Rat King, and I'm going to try to find, I don't know, a relative or something like that. This is the second time I've had to move this year.
This isn't the junk fall I knew. I'm sorry this is happening to you, and I'm sorry Entropy's caused it.
He looks up at the sign and says, "It's been happening for a long time now." Kind of looks around. You can see there's probably at this point maybe 70-ish Yosoki just kind of out in the street. More construction vehicles moving. You see a crane kind of going down the main avenue that's been closed off. Large wrecking ball hanging from it. Make just a flat intelligence check.
Ooh.
With my -1.
Yeah.
18 -1 is 17.
You're looking at all of this. You first of all, it just took you 2 hours to get here, and it's not that far from Rat King, and that was just to get one truck here. You're looking around. There's this massive industrial crane. There are all these trucks, all these construction workers. It is amazing that this much equipment was assembled in so short a time. You posted this article last night, and something about that to you seems weird. But with that roll, you kind of grasp at what that might mean.
Well, I kind of fall back from the person I was walking with and turn to Shade and Bubbs, and I think I caused this, but
What do you mean?
Cause.
I posted an article last night about access to medical care, and Rentropy retweeted it or whatever, reshared it, and and they responded about building a medical facility and like expediting their plans, but they expedited very quickly.
Can I look this up while
Sure.
Gibbs is talking?
As you're talking, you see Shade's hand go to his face, and in the eye itself, you see all these tiny little bits of text like flying across.
Right. So
Make a culture check.
I wouldn't blame yourself. I mean, maybe they just had, like, you know, a better opening window for having something to happen, and they just took advantage of it.
21.
As you look through the infosphere, you see this article written by Gibbs that was overnight just exploded. You see it as soon as you log into the infosphere. It's like all the sites that you visited recently, and Junk Falls is on at least 3 of them. You see on news articles, you see more general pages that are kind of cached to your location. There is a lot about this new gene therapy clinic in Junk Falls. You do notice with that role, there are other older articles that talk about this clinic. There was a plan in place to eventually move it in after securing some additional housing for residents that might be displaced by it. There were still deals going through in terms of possibly finding an additional site for it that wouldn't displace anybody. There's a few other things that were kind of hung up in the city, but with the sudden outcry about this public health nightmare apparently that exists within Junk Fall, it seems as if much of the opposition to that has just drifted away overnight. In ways, it seems almost like Rentropy was waiting for an opportunity.
Do I see the name Aclama at all?
Yes. So the very first thing that you see when you click any of these articles, and that in and of itself definitely rings some bells for you, but you see this article by Aclama, first comment on almost every single post, not by like time, but by the amount of input and kind of
follow.
Yeah, exactly. The number of shares,
number
likes,
of likes.
Yeah.
When you look at the statistics for this particular thing, the top one is almost always the same article by Aclama. And weirdly, you begin to look through and with that role, you see a lot of the follow-up comments really building up the article by Aclama and supporting it. There are similarities to the names that are being used, the usernames. And a lot of these accounts relatively new. And so there is an element to it that you feel as if certainly plans at play here.
The media campaign is...
And so I guess I kind of jumped the gun last night, and now I'm not sure. But now all these people are being displaced, and that's not good either. So, what do you think my next step should be?
I think we need to find a way to make contact with Rentropy and figure out how to get in touch with this Aclama woman.
Okay, but first, I mean, there's an immediate problem here. There's 60 Yosoki that don't have a home, and
As you turn and look, you see the crane swing, and this massive wrecking ball takes out just a huge chunk of one of the walls. You see like elements of beds and little yams flying out into the air. You see like shattered glass, all kinds of things, and there is like a audible groan amongst the established people as they watch their home destroyed in front of them.
okay, everyone, you're all here
Gibbs.
and with no home,
Gibbs.
and
I think we should go.
Make a diplomacy check. People start to turn as you call out this little bit of...
okay, 9 plus 7 is 16, minus 1 is 15.
Okay, a few people turn, but then Shade kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, and you turn, and Shade says,
I think we should go.
I'm going to sort of crouch a little, and so the people that made eye contact with me, I'm going to be like, and I'm going to call them in, and I'm going to be like,
I thought you were Skyrim crouching.
like not like crouching like this way,
In the wind.
but just
Yeah,
sort of like, without the original gusto I sort of started my statement with,
Sure.
I'm going to be like, the Scab Rats are 2 blocks away from here, and they don't have much, but they'll welcome you. if you head there, at least you'll have a place off the street to get your bearings together. It's not much, but it's a reprieve from the weather. Please go there. I'm sorry this has happened. Tell them Gibbs sent you, please.
This very old Yosoki kind of wanders up to you. She's like, you
287.
No, you an older Yosoki. You see whitening of the fur on the snout and the eyes, but she comes up to you. You can see like this little scrunched up pink, what at some point was probably like a pillowcase and has been fashioned to a very nice top. But she puts a little paw on your shoulder and she says, "That's so nice of you, young lady. Thank you for helping us out. We thought we'd be homeless, but you've provided us a place to stay. I only wish it was the place where I raised my family." And she turns and you could see like maybe, I don't know, a good like dozen or so Yosoki, almost like arranged by height, older to younger. Just like yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the family sticker on the back of their van, but in real life.
I don't want you to lose hope yet. Maybe there's still hope to get your home back someday. I don't want to make any promises, and I'm gonna pass out my literature to all of the people.
And there's just another like you see.
Yeah. Okay.
She points and she's like, "I lived right." Shattered in front of you. Yeah.
Okay, head that way, and I give them the instructions to go to the Scab Rat's home.
Sure.
And hand them all my literature on their way. And then we'll kind of turn our way to the boys standing with me, and okay, let's go talk to Rentropy. And I'm going to quickly send a text to Tobin, like, Yosoki's on their way. They're homeless. Sad face, crying face.
I'm trying to figure out all I can about Acclama and Rentropy.
Make another culture
and,
check if you're looking for.
Is there like a contact page on Rentropy's website that has at least like, you know, the company email for getting in touch with her? I'm trying to figure out how to.
That's the 21st century.
Yeah.
What actually exists on their website is it's like a live chat portal. So you remember Clippy from very similar.
Yeah.
For Entropy, it is this friendly little tree.
Yeah.
Called Spriggy, and Spriggy pops up. Can I help you? And you can see very much like a website that has that, like, you know, chat to whoever feature.
Yeah.
This is that.
Mm-hmm.
This little animated icon just kind of blinks and looks up at you.
I'm going for contacts, seeing if there's anything about Acclama to try and contact.
You scroll around looking for contacts, and after about a minute, this little figure pops up again. Are you looking to contact somebody at Rentropy?
Yes.
And you can see all of a sudden the screen goes like white, and then a whole bunch of text appears. And you could see like a rough company directory. There is no email or access to that way, but there is a general line. And similar to an operator, you would imagine dropping a message here will get it eventually to the person that it's supposed to go to. But the external facing part of this site really meant more for display, not for interaction. It's a nonprofit, not like a.
I'm looking for, you know, I want to look deeper to find like what I can about.
So are you trying to hack into the website to get into the internal part, which might have some contact information?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, make a computer's check.
I'm looking for countermeasures first.
Okay, excellent. Well done.
Always
look for
countermeasures, of course. All right, computers.
Yeah.
26.
26. So, in this moment, as this very sad thing happens with the Yosoki, you stop and begin to type, and really, you recognize there is so much interference being run by this website. There is no real way to get in touch with people. Part of you thinks, okay, this is a classic company, doesn't want to interact with customers, but this is a nonprofit.
Right.
And there's an element to it that's like, it's bizarrely well locked. So you begin to look deeper. And as you look deeper, you detect that there are quite a few countermeasures here. And that, to you, raises a couple of flags. This is not the kind of countermeasures that you see in corporations. This is not the kind of countermeasures that you see really even from Mosaic. This is a little bit more advanced. you haven't seen anything like this before in your experience, although you do detect a firewall. You detect, it appears to be this element of a program that is designed upon being breached to track you, which will allow you into a false shell and give you a couple of things that you can interact with, meant to kind of appease base level hackers while still alerting other people to your position. With the 26, you are not able to figure out who is alerted to this, but it is external to Rentropy. You would imagine maybe authorities of some kind.
Okay.
Additionally, for countermeasures, there appears to be some. So, were you to gain base access to this, you would imagine there is some kind of a you could think about it like dual authentication. Your time when you break into the system will be counting down, and you'll have to continue to make checks to keep yourself active. It's basically like a rotating cipher.
Yeah.
This is advanced. This is not bordering. This is military level countermeasures.
Okay.
So you just go 2 blocks.
I'm gonna. I don't think I. Do I disarm them? I don't think
That's
I
up to
can.
you if you
no,
want
I don't
to.
think I don't think I can handle that much disarming.
It might not be worth it. If you're,
Yeah,
if
I'm
we're
not-
gonna
Because
do
you're
I mean,
that.
tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, for just a website like that.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna
Disconnect.
disconnect from the exocortex.
Goodbye.
for now.
And then little icon disappeared.
Well,
Like,
Shade's
pop
doing
back
that.
into life with.
I would just like to put a little quick message on chat room.
Sure.
As you know, Bubbs likes to do the chat rooms as
Yeah.
the youth do these days.
I don't think anybody's using chat rooms anymore. Even in like our day and age in 2022, I don't think.
Oh,
You know who
the
uses
Discord.
chat rooms?
No, that's
Great.
video chat.
Yeah.
just the kind of people that
Omegle.
Bubbs
Yeah.
Yeah.
would.
It's
Bubbs
Bubbs and a bunch
chatting
of
to
200-year-olds
Omegle, being
in
like,
IRC.
Hey, what's going on? Quick, I need your help.
No,
They're on
but
Telnet.
Bubbs probably knows maybe a couple chat forums.
You certainly do. You know a
yeah,
whole variety.
where
of chat
there
forums.
may be some maybe InfoWars like or conspiracy like. So he's just going to maybe put a chat post down there about does anyone know anything about missing people in the Junkfall/Rat King area?
So you want to find like a local forum.
Yeah, if there's a local one.
Make a
yeah.
culture check.
Yeah.
And you take a +2 circumstance bonus because this is your. You may not have used, local forums to hear, but you're used to finding forums.
Yeah.
You know how to find communities. That's part of what you do.
2 plus, I believe. Can I use my bounty hunter profession? With
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Nice,
For sure.
finally.
That's what I'm talking about.
Plus 9, so 11.
So with the 2, what you find local to Petrus is something called Legs List, which is it's a Craigslist-like Infosphere marketplace that is used for items, and you can see it's run by somebody called Long Leg Toby. But with that 11, you find an additional site. This is called Tales from Petrus. It's a gossip forum around the Petrus planets, so not just Petrus 4, but a variety of them. And it definitely seems geared towards Yosoki. Thus the Tales, Tails.
Okay.
So you could post on either of those, or there's a number of bounty hunter ones, which are less specific to this and may not yield the best results, but something that you could certainly do.
No, I think I'm going to post in the first one.
Okay, Legs List, just like Craigslist. There's all
Oh,
kinds of
is there the second one I mean?
Tales from Petrus.
That's the one.
Sure.
Yes, that's the
This
one.
is a pro boards, message.
Yeah,
board.
yeah.
Yeah. So no problem. What are you posting? Looking for?
Yeah, does anyone know about missing people in the Junkfall Rat King area? Just anyone who's gone missing, just suddenly.
Now you have a feature that allows you to do something relating to this, and I can't remember off the top.
My bounty hunter theme?
Yeah, make another roll for that.
Okay. 15.
15.
You don't get a plus to that?
Yeah, you get a plus.
Oh, plus my bounty hunter profession, which is plus 9, so yeah, 24.
Yeah,
mean, that's
that's
a
a
pretty
difference.
big deal.
Yeah.
That's a substantial.
Plus nine.
So not only do you make this post, but you take a little bit of time to examine this website. And as you look, instead of posting, you really decide, you know what, I'm going to do what everybody always says on these forums. You've used forums a lot.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest pet peeves for people is when somebody posts about something that's already been talked about. So you use the search function, and you're like, missing people, rat or junk falls. There's a number of things that come up. People have been going missing. And as you get through this with the 24, first, you cut through the conspiracy stuff right away. People talk about this creature that stalks the streets at night, sucking the livelihood from Yosoki, similar to a chupacabra in ways. You read about this idea that this ancient human concept called the rapture has happened. And so, you know, all this garbage that's been found strewn across these clothing items, that must be what's happening. But as you cut through the bullshit and you find the things that are closer to reality, there are people that go missing. And interestingly, as you begin to pull these individual posts together, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, I hope you find your loved one. I'll be on the lookout. I'm going to share this on Reddit, which still exists.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Literally
Awesome.
posted that in
Non-sponsor.
my bullshit.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. There's a handful of sites that still exist. There's a dumb company called Moose Knuckle, which is a real company, and they sell outerwear. That still exists for some reason. I rolled for companies. Not a lot have made it. So, as you look through these various posts and the people saying, oh, I'm sorry about your loved one, a lot of these folks, mechanics, biochemists, people with scientific backgrounds, and that's weird. These are certainly not random disappearances. These are people who have skills.
Guys, I think I found something on the missing people.
yeah. Okay. Just this way, please.
And so in total, you get that family of 13
Okay.
to head off. Most people a little bit more disturbed by the fact that their home in front of them is being destroyed.
Well, I cross-section a bunch of posts, and there's got to be at least 30 or something posts, and it seems like an outlier is they all seem to have some kind of, like, STEM kind of, like, mechanic or chemist or scientific background.
Yeah.
The people that are going missing.
Operation Icker, man. You've gotten it, I guess.
Well,
It stands for
Yeah.
Yosoki.
Info
Information collecting
rescue.
and rescue. Icker, but the Y is silent.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'd be Yicker, which is still good.
I think that's fantastic.
So-
Everything about this is fantastic.
But yeah. Okay. I sent a text to Tobin. Some people are heading there.
So, Gibbs, I
Yes.
think we need to find a way to contact Rentropy if anything is going to change. They've showed their hand, so to speak. And I don't think that you or the people of Junkfall are prepared to face the capabilities of Rentropy at this moment.
Right. Yeah, maybe if we can figure out what's going on, then I won't make it worse again. Sure. Do you think we should head to the campus? They have a university here. That
I
seems in line with
checked their website and
Yeah.
it had unusually high security. So I'm not sure whether or not this campus could also be a front for whatever Rentropy is actually doing.
that would make sense.
So, okay. Well, when I was doing a search for them earlier, I mean, Rentropy is a nonprofit, but they've kind of got some sketchy practices going on, and they've obviously got like a vendetta against Junk Falls, and maybe it's just because of the cheap real estate, but why would you
I don't
clean
think you
up a place that
should attempt any assumptions like that.
okay, so is your suggestion just go to Rentropy's headquarters here? What do you think?
I think that attempting to face off against Rentropy at this time would be foolhardy.
Okay, but I got 2 days to do stuff. So like
I think establishing contact with Rentropy is the best thing to do right now.
how can we get their
Anything
attention
that you can do,
in a way that's not gonna displace people more?
I would simply attempt to reach out to them. If they don't respond, it's because they would respond when they felt they needed to.
Okay, do you want to work on that? Does that need 3 people or?
I don't know if you should attempt anything else until you've made contact with Rentropy. What I've seen here appears to be a pretty direct threat that if you try to do anything to stop them, they'll only push harder.
To be honest, that's probably true, but also what I see here is 70 people who lost their homes to Rentropy and might have a bone to pick. And
Yes,
that's
but 70 people will not be able to stop this.
it's
I
a
think-
start though, and it's day 1.
Yes, and
So-
in order for there to be a day 2, you need to stop and think about the long-term ramifications of what you do.
You're probably right.
There's nothing that you can do to Rentropy right now. The best thing to do is try to approach in a diplomatic route.
Perhaps Gibbs did have a point about maybe one of us does that and another one of us, continues on with the preparation and we both, our ideas work.
Because we don't have a contact for Rentropy. We don't have a phone number. There might be an office in the campus that they've talked about. I just don't know what we would do. But there's real documentable pain here.
Yes,
And I don't want to exploit it, but it's true and it's here. And like when they retweeted my article and treated it as if their solution was satisfactory, I kind of want to respond and say, yeah, okay, state-of-the-art gene therapy bullshit, but also you still displaced a bazillion people. And so
Gibbs, I understand that you feel upset.
well, it's my
But-
fault, you know?
No, Gibbs,
It's
it's not your fault.
Okay.
As you say that, first of all, you can certainly, like right in front of you again, you're like, oh, it's not your fault. Another big swing of the wrecking ball. A couple people startle as debris scatters down around your feet. And you can see there is one of the Yosoki walking by, holding the hand of this little child Yosoki. She can't be more than like 4 or 5. And you could see he's like, oh, it's whoever wrote that article that caused this. And they just kind of like walk down the street.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Writing any response article is not going to help.
Okay, but I'm gonna take some
Gibbs.
photos and then
I thought
make a
we
decision.
weren't going to, involve Mosaic Team 5 and that says your name on it.
What says my name on it?
Your articles.
No, it says JFWJ because that's the username and the password is
Gibbs #1.
yeah, with a
Gibbs.
Gibbs with a Z #1. So like
Given the
it's not
amount of,
from me, it's from
Given the amount of security that I saw on their website, it's very likely that they would be able to track down that you are in fact the one who wrote the article.
I made a whole
fact,
new email address
At
and
this
everything.
point, I would probably venture to guess that they do in fact know that it was you, and the response was a direct response to you.
Shade's right. It's
So
just
then it is
security
my fault.
101.
Right.
I'm saying that your next move should be taken with caution.
Okay. First, I take some photos of the displaced people,
Okay.
and like, kind of in a very Gibbs style. It's very like feet on the ground, not really like effective photography. So there's a lot of like things out of focus, and it's just like some asshole with a camera.
This is Cloverfield photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But like I take it and I like just have it. Okay. Well, at least some people will find the scab rats and they can help them. I can't house 70 people, but
I don't think that you are responsible for that.
well, semantics. So, what do you suggest? Like, what is your, like, where do we go now?
Perhaps the Rentropy U
Okay.
campus.
Yeah, because
I'm driving.
if people aren't there and are missing, maybe there's some clues for that too, or something.
The missing people?
I think any of the answers that you're looking for would probably be from this Acclama woman, who we've already known as the one who is working with Chesterfield.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
guess we
without
should go find her.
contacting her directly, everything else is...
Maybe I should publish an article like Mosaic Team 5, such great supporters of Rentropy.
Maybe you
I
should.
think a more direct approach
Okay.
would be fitting.
Let's go. We'll get in the car and we'll drive to
Rentropy U.
Yeah, that should be you. Yeah.
So you're gonna just turn right back around, head back to Rat
But
King?
I'm driving this time, so it's
Oh,
not
it's
gonna
in
take us
Rat
2
King?
hours.
That's fair.
I imagine we probably passed out a couple
You
pamphlets
guys
while
literally
we're there.
passed it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Entropy U is right when you get outside of the main spaceport.
Oh,
It's like right across the street. It used to be a big part of what was the Freshies junkyard.
Yeah.
Now kind of reconfigured.
So we put a little stickers and pamphlets, and then we take off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any children I see, I'm like,
Sure.
they're sad, I'm sure, but I'm like, here's a pile of stickers to make you happy.
Okay.
Stick them on everything.
Sure. No problem. Yeah, you give out, a couple dozen stickers, and most of the kids seem pretty sad. Their entire home is being destroyed in front of them.
Here's a Band-Aid sticker.
Yeah, I know. That's almost kind of insulting in a way. And actually, there is a poignancy to the stickers that you made now, as it seems your article a little bit of a Band-Aid on the situation, and ripping this one off certainly hurt.
I shouldn't have sent you my plans in advance, Joe. You were mean to me. And Gibbs. But it's okay.
It's Acclama.
Yeah, fuck Acclama. Alright, we're gonna go to...
This particular plan, this was something that it would have happened down the line.
Yeah.
You sped it up.
Great,
for
thanks.
sure.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, my article is so good.
I'm gonna just, while I'm driving, have my exocortex sort of run in the background, finding as much as I can, like scouring for a way to get in touch with Acclama.
Okay. So specifically, you're looking for contact information for Acclama.
Yeah, or anything about her that would help us to, like, run into her.
Yeah, she's like a public appearance.
Make
or
a
something.
culture check. And then make a piloting check, as you are now browsing the internet as you drive
Okay,
your motorcycle.
my exocortex can do it independently, right?
Relatively, it still that's a part of your processing power that you're using for that. And to be able to comprehend information does take a certain amount. It's not like a terribly difficult task.
Okay, so the piloting check is a 17.
Okay.
And the culture check?
Yep.
Is 14.
You don't find any way of contacting Acclama directly. You do find a couple other articles about her. She is a scientist. She works for Entropy. She's a Yusoki, not from this planet. She has written a tremendous amount of research, and so combing through it is a little dizzying. You don't know a lot about what this stuff is. It pops up in your mind. Actually, Vess would be a good person to ask about.
But he's got the runs.
Oh God,
He's got
yeah.
so
it's
bad.
bad. It's bad. He's been pooping for almost a day straight. But for what it's worth, a lot of this you read a lot about this idea of genetics and interesting, given the dynamic between Gibbs and Bubbs, a lot about sort of cleanliness and. The early research that you're finding from her is a lot on ecology, ways of making planets better, ways of making creatures cleaner. and it progresses more into more complex things that have to do with larger ecosystems and macro agriculture, and you kind of lose it after that. It becomes way too complex. But you do find some information.
Okay. I continue to drive.
Okay. You guys make your way without any further trouble to Rat King.
Nice.
You pull up outside of the campus for the Rentropy University. And this campus does have a number of different buildings. So give me just 1 second here. I didn't copy paste my buildings into my session notes this week, so I gotta open them up from last week. Rentropy U. Yeah. That's how I open up all my notes. Oh, this is from 2 weeks ago. I forget. Well, not 2 weeks. Not like a month ago.
Is that when we last played 2 weeks ago?
I think
It
so.
was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
You know,
Seems like forever.
COVID's really thrown us for a loop here, or multiple false exposures. All right. So, as you pull up to this campus, you would find. Gosh, my notes are so disorganized. Oh, and just so you know, nope, those are the racer names.
I also drew a crane on the back of this.
Oh,
For DeSantos, yeah. Just because, why not?
For DeSantos, do you mean
It was-
Jacinto?
Jacinto. Yeah.
I always
you keep
mean
saying
Jacinto.
DeSantos, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Jacinto. I'm
Whatever.
pretty sure that's
But
what
yes,
Ari's talking.
Yeah.
the crane
Okay.
for whomever.
I remember
For
it because it's the
DeSantos.
same company in Gears of War.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
I just started playing the game, so I just found out.
I've never played that game.
Yeah.
Man, I tried in my brain. I was like, "This is such a great company." So, Rentropy headquarters and the Rentropy University campus. You can see a massive 5-building compound, all surrounded by an interior courtyard park, which is around a huge furnace.
Furnace?
Yeah.
It's the one that making the
Fuck!
smoke
Oh,
in the.
you're right. I've been there.
gravity.
The
I
smoke
knew
is
the
channeled
furnace.
up and into space from here. You can see multiple rings using some kind of gravity or electronic force to channel the smog up and up and up in a massive dark streak of tar and smoke and ash that lifts up and then becomes part of this huge ring of sludge around the planet. You can see the Rentropy Upay Capsule Hotel right at the base or right at the entrance of the campus. And you see it's like a little hotel, although very odd is the entrance. You see what looks like a medical device around the entryway. There's also the main Rentropy University building, which specializes in green sciences and life sciences. There is, right below that, that's what you'd see. Little
Anything-
gateway out front, and like one
Anything
security
about
guard.
genetics?
You would imagine genetics falls under life sciences.
Okay. We should maybe check out the life sciences department.
Okay.
Given what I've found about Aklama,
What'd you find? Did you tell me?
I would explain
Yeah, sure.
everything about her ecological cleanliness push and all of her research into the field.
That's scary. It sounds like a popular opinion until you get deeper into it. So, cool. Thanks for telling me.
Well, that is beside the point. We should try to figure out a way to contact her.
You think she's a real person, or you think she's like an Alexa or a persona? I mean, if they've gone through.
My research has shown that she is allegedly an Isoki.
Not just allegedly. In some of these articles, there's pictures.
There are photographs.
So, Aklama.
Yeah.
Boop up some pictures.
Sure. Aklama almost always wearing a red lab coat. And you can see, although she does age, certainly, across some of these articles, not much. Very clean, very well kempt, and in the clothing, unlike any of the other Yosoki that you've seen, she is wearing clothing that would most closely be associated with the Drow. You've actually, some of you have interacted with members of the Uzidi Imperium, that is the Drow kind of empire. They did help they helped both the United Solari Republic along with a couple of other groups during the Vesk War. They're a really big part of the group that pushed them out, actually.
Boop,
Oh.
boop, boop, boop.
During the Vesk War?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I was kind of picturing like a human, but I guess she's a Yosoki. That's a bummer. Just for me personally, I guess.
Well, it doesn't change
Gibbs is
the
like
situation.
falling asleep while you guys are like talking. You're parked outside this campus. It is probably about 2 p.m. It's warm, and in the heat, it is so easy for you just to kind of like
Bubbs, will you
fade
carry
off to sleep.
me? Will you let me ride on your shoulders?
I don't.
My jar feels really heavy. Please.
I don't think people do that on
Gibbs,
college campuses.
perhaps you should rest for a little.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay.
Bubbs and
We're
I
going.
can.
Nope. On
You
our
can
way.
see sticks the truck into drive, and you pull up to the gateway, and you can see there's a security guard, like a sort of tan-skinned humanoid, big, what you would think of as like your police officer mustache, a little bit overweight, and he just puts his window down and motions for you to put yours down.
I roll it down in the 22nd century.
Sure.
Can I like kind of pull up too, so that I'm not, so I can hear what's going on?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Hey,
Not in a
we're here to
threatening
visit the
way.
campus, please. Could
Hi.
we park?
Hi, I'm excited to see the place.
He looks past at you and then kind of shakes his head and turns. Well, sure, just I need to see your paperwork for this delivery.
I'm sorry, there's no delivery. I'd just like to park nearby, and is the campus open to the public? Or I'm part of the free food for you, food for all program.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you can come on in. Do you just have your pass?
Sorry, it's my first time. I wasn't even sure where to get that paperwork or anything. I'm
You haven't
sorry.
even gone to orientation?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, you kind of, you can see he pulls out his communicator and he looks. I don't think you're going to be able to make it today. They started about a half an hour ago. So I would talk to your supervisor, but you're probably not getting paid for today. Sorry to
Oh.
say.
Oh, we can't get paid.
Oh no!
Is there anything you could do?
But could you just point us in the right direction, just so we could try, so I can tell my boss that I'm an A-star employee?
Please.
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I assist?
Probably not.
Just in the back seat.
Yeah.
12
Okay, that's pretty good.
plus 7 is 19, minus 1
Okay.
is 18.
I guess I could take you over to HR if you want. Give me 1 second. And you can see he pulls out this little walkie-talkie and he says, I'm going to need 3 visitor badges, some kind of a problem with some of the new folks for the food program. Yeah, okay, thank you. And he kind of puts it back on his belt. Just a second. And you can already hear behind him this little zzz, 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 and he goes over and pulls out 3 freshly printed, still warm lanyards, mint green Rentropy U lanyards that go around, and a little white key card. He takes each card and puts it into this small device, and he goes up to you on your motorcycle first, Shade. And he goes, all right, smile for the camera. He takes a picture. Just regular flat face. For Matt, very hard not to do. But regular flat face. He pulls the card out, and you can see like a Polaroid on the actual material itself. It kind of slowly, the picture fades in. He hands it to you. Same thing goes up to you, Bubbs. To you, Gibbs kind of says, could you just lean over for a second? And he pulls this up to you. Smile.
Oh, okay.
Takes a picture with this very awkward smile on Bubbs' face. Same thing, pulls the card out and you see your face slowly appear on it. Puts in the final one and goes,
Put on my goggles.
okay.
And I really like squint and distort my face. I make sure my jar is as far away from me as possible. And I go, okay, ready? Whee!
I mean, if you give me your communicator, I'll take a funny one, but I gotta take one.
Okay, go, go. Whee!
I gotta ask, is there a religious significance to the goggles? Because you're not supposed to wear a headgear. in
Yeah.
the photos.
Please, take
Make
it.
another diplomacy check. This is actually a bluff check, sorry.
Ooh, good. Okay. But I'm not gonna bluff. 18 minus 1 is 17.
A follower via media. Okay, sure. Just a sec. And he kind of goes, smile for the camera. Oh gosh! And he takes the picture. It's awful, but he hands it to you, and he goes, "Great picture."
Thanks. Okay.
All right,
Lead the way.
Pull through the gate and follow me. And the gate just opens up.
Just like, oh man, this is more than 2 days.
Your truck pulls through. Your motorcycle pulls through. He pulls the gate behind and begins to follow you guys so he can help lead you in. You guys pull into a parking spot that would fit both the truck and the motorcycle side by side, no problem. At this point, you do hear your communicator begin to ring, and looking down, you do see Peep's name on the caller ID. Sure. You press answer, and you can see Peep's face emerge in front of you as a hologram. Oh, good afternoon, gang. How's my favorite team doing?
Oh, hi, Peep.
I'm gonna
Hi there,
distract
Bubbs.
the security guard and like really just like ask him a lot of questions to avoid the conversation. So I'm not gonna be present for this conversation.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Kind of like fall back. I think.
Okay. Shade, I'm glad that you answered because I got a request from Spice for 763 credits, and it didn't tell me why. I tried to call her, but kind of like usual, if nobody's there with her, she's not going to take my call. So until IT gets back to me about making that not a feature, what is she trying to buy?
I have no idea. I'm sorry, Shade. Pete.
You're Shade. I'm Pete.
Did it say where she was? Like, was it like at a restaurant or something?
No. And you see the face disappear for a
good.
second.
756 credits?
Yes, it appears to be at a pawn shop of some kind, specializing in jewelry.
Oh,
I would.
Look, honestly, it's your guys' day off. It's your money. I did give her 1,000 credits, so presumably she would have enough. If she's already spent that, could you please let her know that is her problem? Mosaic is not going to be buying jewelry. You guys did a great job, but let's try to keep our request realistic and mission-based, okay?
Okay.
Speaking of which, I really hope that you're enjoying your time off. You have 2 days, but at the end of that, we're really going to need to get going. We have some information that's going to help us out, I think, in getting a jump on a certain hostage situation, but I'm not going to go into it yet, unless you want me to.
If you could send the file over later, that would be great.
All right. Have it your way, Shade. It's your day off, so I'm going to get off now, but just I wanted to just see if you knew what was going on with Spice. How's Vest feeling, by the way?
He's still
Shitty.
in
Nice.
In and down.
still in the restroom.
Oh, well, if you could let him know, his father's lobbying pretty hard for him to come home. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to run interference for him. The sentient resources machine is doing its best, but even computers have limits.
Well, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss with us?
That makes me nervous. Is something happening?
no,
We're-
nothing's happening.
Currently at Rentropy.
Can I talk to Bubbs?
Yeah, what's up?
You kind of turn your head and the hologram shifts with you. Bubbs, is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing's wrong.
Make a make a bluff check.
Oh, a 17.
Finally, Bubbs comes through for Gibbs.
Minus 12.
Minus 1.
Okay.
You know, -1. Oh, charisma.
All right. Something doesn't feel like it's adding up, but if Bubbs says everything's fine, I don't think Bubbs can lie.
Well, we're at Rentropy U, as I said.
Great. Well, whatever you guys are doing on your day off, please enjoy. And if you can, please tell Spice she needs to call, and we can talk about whatever it is that she wants to buy.
We will try.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Peep out, and the hologram goes quiet.
What nice flowers you have here, Mr. Security Guard.
I'll walk back up.
He comes up and just says, well, I think it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me having a bunch of flowers that can't produce anything, but, you know, people seem to like them, so give compliments to the staff. I think most were developed in-house. Now, follow me. And he kind of begins to lead you over. And he turns around for a second and just goes, no, it's kind of a strange day. What with it being, what day is it of the week?
Tuesday.
I think it's Wednesday.
Dude, it would be in Taco Tuesday and all.
I've never had people starting on a Friday. You know, orientation's almost always on Monday. Wait, where do you guys come from again?
We came from the Tar Docks. The Tar Docks.
Docks. That's
We're kind
local.
of new. Yeah.
That seems kind of strange.
Oh, I'm
You-
sorry.
You all really work here?
Work here.
You can see he's like stopped now and kind of turning around looking at all of you.
Not
No, we're just here for the
presently,
Food for All program.
Right. I mean, that means that you would be an employee technically of Rentropy, but something just isn't adding up. What are you guys all here for?
no. We were hoping to get in touch with Acclima.
You can kind of make a diplomacy check.
$15.
That's gonna be right on the cusp. Yeah, I think you beat him.
Nice.
I don't think you're gonna be able to see Acclima. I mean, I thought you guys just needed to get in and kind of figure out your whole paperwork situation. This seems like a bit more.
We have more important business dealings to discuss with her.
From the food program? You know, Acclima is like the chief scientist here. She doesn't touch the food program. I don't know what you think
Not
you need to talk to her
regarding
about.
the food program. Regarding,
The new gene therapy lab that they just started building.
correct, the development of said gene lab.
It's going through. Didn't you hear? It's brand new.
I know
Oh,
all
that's
the
probably
equipment
why.
left this morning, and thank God it's been here for almost 3 months. But what? You said you were here for the food delivery program.
Well, I'm
now
here
you're
for
here
food
about
'cause
Rentropy
I missed breakfast this morning,
and
so
the gene therapy clinic. So, I'm sorry, guys, but I think it might be time for y'all to leave.
Oh.
If this is, a paperwork related issue, then just get something with some kind of employment data on it and come back, because this seems pretty suspicious.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to be
Is there a way
suspicious.
that I could forge a certification
Right, right now.
to go back and run
I'm
some
sure.
programs
Absolutely.
and then go send it off. And be
Yeah.
let me go pull up the paperwork in my brain
Sure.
sphere.
Yeah, you could certainly give that a shot. No problem. So you turn, and as you do, you can see there is another car that is pulled up.
Okay.
Big limousine.
Is it? Ooh.
It is
With
a
your previous
zebra.
role, this is certainly a striker.
Striker, limousine, whatever.
Striker cat limousine.
Striker cat limousine. You see heavily tinted windows. You see the edges, while they look almost stock at first, they're chrome, certainly. This is a vehicle that's had a lot of work put into it. And you, knowing what you do about this vehicle, first of all, from your previous role, you would have known this is a vehicle typically used, what's the best way to put this? By freelance generals, not warlords. They are used oftentimes by militia, and also by celebrities and things like that to a lesser extent. But this is an armored vehicle. It has the capability of having weaponry mounted to it and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But because it is 9 o'clock and a great place to end, this is where we're going to end for the evening. Right as that door begins to open. This is where we're going to step away. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this
We
session
still have a whole
of
day.
Mosaic Team 5. Yeah, you guys have a day and a half. It's only 2 o'clock.
Day and a
The
half, and
afternoon.
we're already meeting Chesterfield. Things are going great.
No.
So thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Thank you Olive for hanging out with us for the whole session via chat.
Thank you.
Olive, I didn't want to tell them what you were buying because I want you to have the chance to have that moment for yourself. However, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us for this session.
Oh, she
Yeah, it's
asked
a
if
great
Tobin
demo
had
contest.
fingers. And now she's at a jewelry shop. She's going to propose to my friend or something.
I love that idea.
Oh my god, that's gonna break Bubbs' heart.
Will Bubbs have their heart broken? And so that's so much. I'm not even going to get into that. Anyhow, Bubbs, you were chosen to sign us off. So
Bye, Spice.
go ahead.
Thank you guys for picking me. I would like to say tomorrow we have Ventures in Alberon at the new 7 o'clock time. Come check it out. It's great. It's me and Matt.
A bunch of other people.
And yeah,
I'll be
and
there too.
Also Joe, Alana, and Hannah. It's going to be a great time. We're going to kind of figure out a situation in a pirate port where maybe some situations might be having with revolutions. We don't know. Lots of revolutions going on. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow.